what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Light Skin Perspective, episode 13. Happy to be back. Happy to see y'all. We took a little break for about a week or so.
About a week.
I'm Kenan J. Floyd. You can follow me on all platforms, Kenan J. Floyd, Kenan J to the Floyds in pink. If this is your first time to our channel, welcome. Thank you for joining us. You can follow us on Instagram at LSPcast, and you can also like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you hear anything in this podcast that strikes a chord with you or something that you want to contribute to the conversation, go ahead and comment on our page and make sure you share with your friends and all that shit. Joining me is my illustrious co-host,
Comedian Mo Green, on all platforms. We are ready to dig in and get it in. We've been off for like a week, but we are back to give you what you need.
You're back, baby.
Yes, sir.
I want to take time out before we start to thank all the people that came out to see me at the Ontario Improv with Godfrey. A few people came. It was a good weekend for the most part. Thursday, I kind of ate a dick a little bit. I did. They weren't really feeling me on Thursday. But Friday, Saturday, and Sunday were all amazing shows. People came out to see me every day. So thank you so much for those that came out to check me out and check out Godfrey at the Ontario Improv. Man, a lot of really dope people. A lot of it's interesting when you go on the road and you do comedy at different places, because
for sure.
It really tests to the settings, because not everyone, not audiences are the same.
Right. Like I was telling you before we logged in, I tried to do a Golden Girls bit, like a song, and I was like, sing along, and I'm singing this shit, and like the whole audience was like, and then I was like, clicked. I'm like, these niggas is 21 to 23. They have no idea who Blanche or Dorothy is. So I had to cut it short. So you're right. You gotta adapt to shit, man.
I mean, that's a shame that young people don't know Golden Girls.
That's what I'm saying. Golden Girls was like I was 6 when I used to watch it. Like I like the youth nowadays. I hate the excuse. Well, I wasn't alive, so I don't know. Like as if like that excuse worked 50 years ago when there was no internet. You know what I'm saying? There's no excuse not to like be cultured and know things about your history. You got fucking Google and YouTube right in front of you. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, they're probably going to have to remake a Golden Girls. I mean, they basically have every show about
4 women.
A group of lady friends is basically Golden Girls, except they're not old. They're
living singles are prime. Like I love when
in their 30s or 40s.
I love like when living singles like yo friends copied off of Living Single. First of all, like when people say that Friends copy Living Single, when I watch Friends, it does not remind me of Living Single at all. I don't make the connection. But when I watch Living Single, it reminds me of the Golden Girls like a motherfucker. It's the same shit.
Well, historically, Friends was copied off of Living Single.
No, I know.
Because they pitched it to NBC.
I know.
NBC.
Yeah, no, I know the story. I know it was. I still don't. It doesn't. They don't. Even though it probably inspired by Living Single, doesn't remind me of it. But Living Single definitely reminds me of Golden Girls.
For those that are watching that don't know, the producers of Living Single pitched it to NBC and they rejected it.
Yeah, but they
took the show to Fox, and then it became a hit. And then the people over at NBC said, "Oh, that's nice," because they were produced by the same studio, by Warner Brothers, and they were shot on the same lot.
No, I get it. They just don't remind me.
And that show is. Let me explain. That show works. So let's do it with some white people. So then Friends came out, and then Living Single got canceled. So
Living Single was way better.
The Friends people get paid $100 million a year off of Friends residuals, which means black folks, we need to learn business and contracts.
The cast from Friends is making $100 million a year, right? And Overton out here in the Chitlin circuit.
Yeah, Overton's doing comedy with us.
No disrespect. He's on my friends list. No disrespect to Overton. This is a joke.
No
Motherfucking
disrespect,
T,
but
T,
still.
TC Carlton, TC, what's his name? TC Carlson. He out here fucking doing the voice of Kratos on God
Oh,
of War.
he's Kratos now.
Yeah, he's been Kratos for years. Yeah, he was the original one. Yeah,
Because
the
I
original
know
one. The
I know
original one.
Christopher. I know that Christopher Judge was Kratos for a little
The
bit.
dude from Stargate, right?
Yeah,
Nah, but he was the TC was the original. Who knows what the fuck
TC
Maxine?
was the original word.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Kratos. Yeah, he was the original. Who knows? I mean, Queen Latifah doing her thing. She's like the female Alex Cross. And then
Yeah, she's on the Equalizer. She's doing her
Equalizer. Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Equalizer got
Equalizer.
a third season.
Yeah, yep. She doing her thing. I don't know
Um,
what Kim Coles is doing. She probably just doing comedy, doing stand up and plays and shit. I don't know what she's doing.
Kim Fields is out here. Kim Fields is out here. Guest starring on TV shows. Yo, did you watch the Upshaws with
Never.
Mike Epps on
Nah,
Netflix?
nah. She's on that.
Yeah, Kim Fields plays Mike Epps' wife,
Mm.
and she is great
She
on
got
the
some.
Upshaws.
She got some jolly
Like,
titties.
if you guys haven't checked out the Upshaws, I wonder did the Upshaws get a second season?
I don't know. I don't. I never watched it.
It has. It was renewed for a second season, which is scheduled to premiere sometime in mid 2022, which I'm actually looking forward to. And I'm glad they actually made it because Netflix is um Netflix is definitely canceling a lot of shows right now.
Mm. I always
And they're
like.
also being sued for losing money and plunging their stock.
Oh shit. I don't know. I always thought that Kim Fields was gorgeous, and she had some jolly boobs, jolly breasts. Them
Oh,
shits
Kim
is.
feels such jolly breast.
Oh my god, them shits
Okay.
is jolly, man. Them shits is jiggling like this.
Yeah, Kim Fields. My favorite joke on Living Single is when they had Chip Fields, who's um
Who's that?
Kim's mom in real life.
Oh, okay, okay.
And she was also the mom that burned Janet Jackson with an iron on Good Times.
Oh, I'm looking her up right now.
Yeah, so Chip Fields plays Kim Fields' mother on Living Single. And there
Oh.
was a joke on the show where Kim Fields was like, "Mom, you're annoying. You're always in the way." And then she's like, "Damn, you're treating me like the mama off Good Times,"
That's good. That's
which is
good.
hilarious because that's who Chip Fields played.
She's pretty though.
Um,
Her mother's beautiful.
they're all beautiful.
Yeah. You know when I
Have you have you seen Kenan and Kel?
not in a long time. She was on that.
Not in a long time. Do you remember the girl that worked at the grocery store with Kenan?
Nah, I don't. I don't. I didn't watch it enough to know.
That's
Yeah.
Kim.
Huh?
That's Kim Fields' sister.
Oh, okay. When we say her children are
So let me
Alexis
show you.
Alexis
Let
Fields.
me show you what Kim Fields' sister looks like.
I'm looking at her right
Everyone.
now, but bring it up for everybody, for all the viewers. But her sister fine. Oh, okay. I've seen her sister. I know her sister.
Yeah,
I
this is
know
Kim
her.
Fields' sister. She also what other show she was on? She was on another
She
show.
was on some shit. She was on Rock.
She was on Rock. Wasn't she on like
Yeah,
Moesha?
I think so. Like I remember, she's only 2 weeks older than me. We're both born at the same time. She
Yeah,
was on
all I know is that she played the girl that worked at the grocery store
uh
with Kenan on Kenan and
well,
Kel.
I've seen this woman though. She's on All American. Okay, she's on All American. I knew she looked familiar.
All American.
Yeah, her name's
Okay.
Denise Patterson, but I don't know who Denise was on All American. I'm not sure, but I've known her. And then
Um,
what else? She was on the Bernie Mac show, but just one episode, so I didn't know her from that. But I remember her from All American. That's what I remember her from. Yep.
yeah, she was on a bunch of
Yep.
Nickelodeon shows
Yep.
back in the day. She was on Secret World of Alex Mack. She was on Kenan and Kel. She was a recurring
She
character
was
on Kenan and Kel.
sister.
I want to say she was. I want to say that she was on Moesha. That's right. She was on Moesha,
Sister too. She was in a
and
lot of
she was on Sister
episodes.
Sister.
Yeah, that was her biggest role. She had 27 episodes on that, in like the secret world of Alex Mack. I never watched that, so I have no idea about that. I never really got into that shit.
Yeah, but the point of the matter is that all of the Fields women are fine.
Fine as hell. Mama from the mama down.
All Chip Fields, Kim Fields,
Hell yeah.
Alexis Fields, they're all fine.
Hell
So
yeah.
shout out to the Field
Field.
women, to the Field ladies doing their thing in Hollywood
What about
and being fine.
Sally Fields from Forrest Gump? Or Sally Field. I don't know if it's Field or Fields. It's just the fucking Mandela effect. The S don't went away or some shit.
Sally Field.
Yeah.
Well, Sally Field is not related to the Fields women
But her
because
name
her
used to
last
be
name is Field.
her name used to be Sally Fields until this Mandela effect shit started happening, and then the S, just like Gilbert Gottfried, it used to be Gilbert Gottfried, and they changed that shit. Yo, the Mandela effect, man.
No, it's definitely Sally Field.
But it used to be Sally Fields. Google Mandela effect and Sally Field, and I guarantee. Yep. Yep.
I don't know.
Her name
I
got
think
changed. I know all about this motherfucking Mandela shit, man. I don't know why I'm dancing right now.
Well, the internet says it's Sally Field.
Type in Mandela effect and Sally Field.
I mean, I think I'm good. I think I've seen
Man,
enough. Everything says Sally Field.
I'm trying to like open your brain up. You know what I'm saying? Like what's going on in the universe and shit, man. Like in another dimension, you got a full head.
To tell me that there's an S on the last name that doesn't have an S?
Yes. Like in another dimension, you had an afro, and in this timeline, you got a baldy.
You need to do me a favor and turn up the volume on your microphone. It's a little low.
How about now? Does this affect anything?
It sounds a little better. See if you can turn it up a little higher.
I gotta go inside the computer. Hold on. Let me go into the properties real quick. It's not a. It's
you have
not
to open up the computer.
Yeah, it's not a simple thing, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up.
Well, while Mo is doing that, let me tell all the viewers where I'm going to be on some shows.
Yeah, tell these niggas.
May 11th, I'm going to be at the Berkshire House in Hollywood, California. The Berkshire House in Hollywood, California, May 11th, 8 p.m. You can go to.
How about now?
Hold on.
How about now?
Huh?
I said, how about now? 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Is it better?
No, it doesn't sound. Just work on it, and I'm going to announce my shows. And
how about
I'll
now?
check
Is
in
that
with
better
you
if
when
I
I'm
talk
done.
like this with the mic next to my mouth? About now?
Yeah, that sounds better.
All right, okay.
That sounds better.
I just got to talk into the mic.
Let me go ahead and
do your thing.
Huh?
I said, do your thing. I just had to talk
Okay,
into the mic.
let me actually do this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So check me out at. I'm gonna get you guys. I'm gonna get you guys the exact. Yeah. So.
Oh hell no.
I'm gonna be at Berkshire House. Hold on a second. So yeah. You back, Mo?
Yeah, I'm back. How it sound? Anything different? Anything different?
You're echoey now.
Hold up. Let me fucking.
All right, go ahead, fix that. I'm gonna go ahead and do my movie review.
Yeah. Go ahead. Do your movie.
It's
Got
from
you.
A24, and it's literally one of the best movies that I've seen all year. Called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. It stars
Ah,
Michelle Yeoh, who she's. I mean, look. Let's just put it this way: if you were watching movies in the early 2000s, you know specifically. I remember one of the first movies that I actually saw Michelle Yeoh in was Police Story 3 with Jackie Chan, which is a great movie. It's kind of corny, but it's a great movie. The second movie that I saw her in was the James Bond film Tomorrow Never Dies with Pierce Bronson. And then the OG of Chinese martial arts movies was Crouching Tiger, Hidden
Hidden Dragon.
Dragon, which in the 2000s was like it was like the Chinese Matrix.
Yo,
Everybody either talked about the Matrix or Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. The cinematography was amazing. The fight scenes were amazing. Michelle Yeoh was great in it. Um, and now I feel that this movie is a swan song. I mean, she was also in Shang-Chi,
Mhm.
Marvel Shang-Chi, and the
Yep.
Legend of the Ten Rings. But her swan song is this film, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Mhm.
Now, right now, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is out. It's a movie about the multiverse. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Comparing the two, I actually like Everything, Everywhere, All at Once more than I like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
Why? Because Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is a very personal story. It's a story about family. It's a story that delves into Chinese culture specifically. So we open up with Michelle Yao's character. I don't exactly remember her name. Um, her name of her character in the movie. I think it's Evelyn, which is I have an aunt named Evelyn, so it's like Evelyn Wang, and she's about to be audited by the IRS. Right, so they go to the IRS office, and Jamie Lee Curtis plays the IRS agent. Right, so so we open up where her daughter comes in. They run this laundromat. Her daughter comes in, and uh, K Hu Kwan, who I might be pronouncing his name wrong, K Hu Kwan, who you might know him as Short Round
Short round,
from
isn't it?
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom,
Oh, he back
or
acting?
Data
Oh,
from the Goonies.
oh
Huh?
shit, he back?
Yeah, you're still echoey. But yes, he's back. So the guy that plays Short Round from Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom, and Data from the Goonies plays Michelle Yeoh's husband, right? So anyway, so they go to the IRS agency to have their audit done, and her husband snaps. Her husband just snaps, right? And what turns out is that there's another man, um, there's another man from another dimension, from another universe,
Mhm.
that's using his body as an avatar to let her know that a multiverse exists and there's a villain in it that's actually going to cause all the multiverses to collapse onto themselves, and she must stop this person. Right now, the person um, that takes over her husband's body is another version of her husband who's a warrior in another universe,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's just the way that they embody the whole concept of the multiverse. I think was genius. I think it was genius because
Right, right, right.
it's a bunch of different scenes in different parts of the universe and different parts of this woman's life. Like in one life, she's an opera singer. In another life, she's a movie star. In another life, she has hot dog fingers. In another life, um, in another life, she's a rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she's connecting her life in this version of Evelyn to all her other lives in the multiverse to beat this villain. Now, one interesting thing that I enjoyed most about the story was the pressure that she felt from her father to be the best she could be. Our Evelyn that we see in the movie is an Evelyn that feels like that she's a nobody. She runs this laundromat with her husband, who they are whatever, they're together. Her husband's kind of weak or whatever. She just lives her life. She wants to do things um to please her father. She's still dealing with the trauma of basically going against her father's wishes by marrying her husband and being looked down upon and all that stuff. And she has this daughter who she sees herself in her. She sees herself in her daughter, and her daughter feels like she has a very estranged relationship with her mother because her daughter's a lesbian. She doesn't feel like she can be open um, to her grandfather. She feels like that her mother focuses more on work than their relationship. So she feels a certain type of way. I mean, her daughter's more of a Gen Z type
Right,
woman.
right, right.
She's more of a nihilist. And what it turns out that the villain that's trying to make all the multiverses crush on each other is her daughter from another universe.
Mm-hmm.
So the story turns into her daughter's the most dangerous person to the multiverse, and everybody, her husband has different multiverse beings. Her grandfather, her Evelyn's father, is the leader of this resistance, and he's saying that she must kill her daughter to stop, to stop her from trying to take over all the multiverses. But at the end of the day, with all of this complexity that's going on, with all the humor, with all the amazing martial arts action sequences that happen in this movie, at the end of the day, this movie is about the relationship
Mm-hmm.
between a mother and her daughter and her family. And that's where it lies. That's where the heart of the movie lies. That's what got me. That brought a tear to my eyes because I care about family. I care about movies with heart. And maybe what I said was convoluted, but if you haven't seen it, I recommend that you go and see this movie. It's definitely one of the best movies of the year. I feel like it's going to get some love at the Oscars. Michelle Yeoh definitely, definitely deserves a nomination for Best Actress. Hell, even Kehu Kwan, I think, deserves some love from the Academy as well. And the girl that plays Evelyn's daughter, Joy Wang, name is Stephanie Su. Um. Anyway, the movie's fantastic. I think you guys should check it out. And thank you for listening. Now let's check on Mo's microphone.
Yeah, man. It's just like
Why are you echoey? Why are
why
you
are you
echoey?
echoing? I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Trying to raise the level so
You're
everybody can.
you're you're low and you're also
You're
echoey.
low and you're also echoing. about now?
All right, you sound good now.
All right,
All
cool, cool.
right, so I did my review.
Yeah, yeah, yo, it was like did you enjoy that movie more than Doctor Strange?
I did. I did.
Really?
I did. I enjoyed it more than
What
Doctor
is
Strange.
is it Marvel or no?
Well, everything, everywhere,
Or
all at
that's just a
once.
whole different. Yes,
No, it's
yes.
not Marvel. It's
It's just some standalone,
yeah,
some new
yeah.
shit.
It was made. It
Oh.
was directed by a group of directors called the Daniels, Dan Kwan
Mm-hmm.
and Dan Schmert.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they directed the movie Swiss Army Man with Daniel
Oh,
Radcliffe.
okay.
He played a dead man. Yeah, it's a great movie. I think if anyone should go, I think
Did,
if you can only pick one movie to go see this month, I think you should pick that one.
when did you see it? Like yesterday?
No, I saw everything, everywhere, all at once last week.
Oh, okay, okay. All right.
So
I'm gonna check it out. You recommended it, man. I'm gonna check that
yeah,
motherfucker out.
I
You
definitely
know what I mean?
recommend it.
Yeah. Yo, what's his name? Key Horn Kwan. He was like my favorite actor when I was out. He was like my favorite guy.
Yeah, he's back.
Even though he was only like in 2 movies.
He's back,
Yeah.
and he's definitely he definitely still has the charm that he had back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Um, and
Mm-hmm.
he's a very very versatile actor as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he he what's interesting about him, and I think he's been I think he hasn't been acting in a while.
Nah, I think he been out. Yeah, I agree.
And but the thing about it too is that I didn't know that uh Key Hugh Kwan, and
Hoi
I don't know if I'm
Kwan.
pronouncing it right.
Hugh Kwan.
I didn't know he was a martial artist. I didn't know he was a stunt coordinator.
Really?
He's a
Oh.
stunt choreographer. I didn't know that. In this movie, he kicks ass. Like
Okay.
he knows like Taekwondo and stuff like that too.
But if you recall in Temple of Doom, I don't know if you remember, but that first scene when they like he had like athletic moments in that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did. He did, but in everything, everywhere, all at once, man, this dude was kicking ass. There's a fight scene in the
Oh, okay.
movie where he's fighting people with the fanny pack, and he's using
Is he like using the fanny pack like
yeah,
nunchucks?
he's literally
Like,
using the fanny pack like nunchucks, and it made me I don't know. I've been emotional lately. It made me.
yeah.
It's definitely made me. I don't know. I cried at the end of the movie. I also cried after watching Turning Red too. I don't know. I'm a bitch.
I don't know what that is. Hey, sometimes you gotta let the tears out, man. Sometimes you know what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's part of being a human being. A lot of us, we keep emotions bottled in, and then we fucking wind up just dying unexpectedly. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
it
So speak your sad.
gotta let it out.
So speak your sadness. Your boy Kevin Samuels passed away.
Yeah,
The other
yeah. I
day.
wouldn't say he was my boy. I wouldn't go that far, but he definitely inspired me as far as like my fitness and my weight loss. It's been something I've been struggling with my whole life, and I always go hard and lose 30, 40 pounds like within 1 month,
Mm-hmm.
but I would stop. Once I lost to 40, I would stop. But this time around, like I've been going pretty not hard but consistent since like April of last year, and just watching him, saying drilling certain things into everybody's minds. Like, listen, if you want better things out of life, you got to put more into it. If you want women that don't like fat niggas, then you can't be a fat guy no more. You know what I'm saying? If you want certain things, that this is what you consistently have to do. You know what I mean? You have to, if you want to separate yourself from the pack, you have to step your game up as far as like how you dress and your appearance. Like your marketing, you are a brand. So just listening to you know what I'm saying? Even beyond the relationship, I'm talking about that. I'm just talking about self
Mm-hmm.
improvement. You know what I'm saying? Like he has a lot to do. I ain't shit. You know, I'm in Yonkers right now. You know, doing comedy that's pretty dope, or whatever. But I'm not shit or whatever. But you know what I mean? If I could take something small from him and it inspires me to buy a workout mat to work out every single day, he listening to him helped me do that. You know what I'm saying? Listening to him helped me do that. Like you know, when he goes in on women and things of that nature, I understand why he does it. And not they call him. He doesn't voluntarily like you a fat bitch. They call him thinking that he has to seek the solution to getting like a certain type of guy, but they're unqualified. It's like motherfuckers with elementary education trying to fill out a job application at NASA. It's like, no, you're not qualified. Now that's a nice way of saying it. You say, yo, get your fat ass out of here. But he only say that if you disrespect him, whatever. But long story short, you know what I'm saying? He passed away. And, you know, I was emotional about it. It sucks because it's not even that he passed away because we all going to die. It's the so many, not just women and men just celebrating his death. Like, yay, he's dead. Yay, this is such a great thing. Yay. And it's like, yo, if you a fat motherfucker or baby mama or whatever type of drama you going through your life, Kevin Samuels passed away. And guess what? You still a fat motherfucker. You still a baby mama. You still a person with no aspirations. Him passing away doesn't change anything. What it makes you feel good that you can no longer hear the message. His YouTube videos are still there. And if you knock him down, so many people done downloaded some shit. It's he whatever purpose the universe had for him, he fulfilled his purpose and he moved on. And then the way he died next to a thick Latina Hawaiian big booty bitch. If you're gonna go out like that, that's a great way to go out. And they claim he was on coke. That's a great way to fucking
he
die.
died on top of her.
I'm on coke with bad bitches.
High on cocaine.
Huh? Yeah.
High on cocaine.
How? That's why are we sad? That's a great way to die. And another thing I love about the fact, I don't love the fact that he died, but I love the fact that he died with a beautiful woman. Because if that does not dispel the myth that he was a homosexual, I don't know what it is. I don't know what could dispel it. Now they trying to spin it. Oh, she was a transgender. Like they trying to say like or whatever. You know what I'm saying? She looked manly. They trying to be stupid and spin it like different ways. And I'm like, damn, they still. Yeah, it's like, damn, I died on top of a beautiful woman.
He died.
And y'all still saying I'm gay.
He died the way he lived. So
this how some dumb motherfuckers say, hold on, this how some hold on. Oh, that motherfucker just died on a bitch because he didn't want niggas to think he was gay. Like, come on, go ahead. So what are your thoughts about that, man? What are your thoughts, man?
I have and it's not a complicated view. I have mixed reactions to Kevin Samuels in general when he was alive, and also his death. A part of me, I'm an agent of chaos, so I do enjoy watching people go against the status quo. You know what I mean? Because we've gotten to a point now. Your camera's shaking. What the fuck is happening? Is there an earthquake in New York? What's happening?
I hate my computer screen.
Okay.
That's my fault. Go ahead.
I like it when people go against the status quo. For example, that's why I enjoyed the most about the debates between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Because what happened with Hillary Clinton was that she was running on the ticket of becoming the first woman president. But she didn't campaign in different states.
Right.
She didn't really talk about her policies a whole lot. She said, I'm going to be the first woman president. And she was at the debate, and I remember she's like, I am ready to be the first woman president. And everyone clapped for her because that's what she was supposed to say. And then out of nowhere, Donald Trump pops up in the back with the microphone, but you're going to jail. And I'm just like, this dude's going to win.
Yo. He had the greatest one-liners.
His comedic timing is impeccable. Yeah. Because what happens is that we now live in a society where facts are dictated by emotion. And when people feel emotional about something, it either makes it right or wrong. If I don't like it, then it's wrong. If I like it, then it's right. So for someone to come in there and be neutral and be like, the reality of it is this. it rubs people the wrong way because because it's based on how people want to feel. Now,
Right.
when Kevin Samuels, now keep in mind, I never heard of Kevin Samuels up until he started being critical of black women. However, which is something that I don't like.
I don't think he
But
was
let me
critical of
finish.
black
Let me
women.
finish.
I don't. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
He
ahead.
was critical of black women, but being critical is not necessarily a bad thing.
Okay.
Being
Okay.
critical,
Fair enough.
being
Fair enough.
critical
Fair enough.
isn't a negative. There are
Okay.
people
Oh,
that
fair
are
enough. Fair enough. Fair
critics
enough.
for a living.
Oh, fair enough. Fair
You're
enough.
paid to
Fair
be
enough.
critical, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's a difference in being constructive, and there's a difference in tearing down. Now, when it comes to Kevin Samuels' brand, he started off as an image consultant. Now, if you've ever actually worked with an image consultant, you know that image consultants are unforgiving when they critique your look because their job is to
Mm-hmm.
make you better. Any image consultant that you meet will tell you, "Oh, that hat you're wearing is whack," or whatever, right? But usually, image consulting is done in private.
Right.
Um,
Right. Right.
Kevin Samuels did start off by being critical to men. He started off by being critical to men. And there's actually a video that I want to share that I'm going to play right now.
Plate.
Can you see it? All right, good. We're in business.
It's coming up. It's
We're in
loading.
business.
Ah, I see it. Yeah.
Become the man of your dreams before you find the woman of yours. Feel me?
It's gonna take some time.
That's why I say you got 15 years. The fuck you waiting for, man? You ain't even but 20, man. You realize I laugh at 20-year-olds, dude. 10 years ago, you was in the fourth grade. What you rushing to get to the end for? Life is long, bro. Life is real long. Become the man of your dreams before you find the woman of yours.
That's some real shit though. It's
It's gonna
like,
take
how
some
could you
time.
argue with that? You know,
That's why I
not
say
you, but
you got 15 years. The fuck you waiting for, man? You ain't even but 20, man.
And the truth of the matter is that there's a lot of men. There's a lot of men that need to hear that. There's a lot of men that need to hear that.
I need to hear that shit. Yo.
I need to hear that shit.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That shit is inspiring. But see, we as men, we not gonna fucking like if you got somebody telling us.
Sorry.
Is that
I'm
you?
trying to fucking.
That's all right.
Man, I fucking hate TikTok. Fuck you, stupid ass
because it plays
white
automatically.
dude.
But what I was gonna say is like when men, when they, especially like black men, when they hold our feet to the fire, we don't complain and hope that people die. We step our game up.
Well,
you know what I'm saying. But when you light the fire on the sisters, they want to be like, oh, I want you to die. Like if he died, your life still fucked up.
Well, I mean,
you're still in shambles. His death ain't the solution.
Well, I mean, I'll put it this way too. There's also a lot of dudes that there are a lot of dudes that don't take kindly to criticism.
Of course, but it's no comparison though. You can't. You can't.
Well,
like women like being. It's not even close, yo.
I don't.
It's not even. Close,
I don't necessarily am going to do a tit for tat because, like I said, I don't know all women. I don't know all men.
Yeah.
I've met both. Yeah. I've met both that don't like criticism.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard a lot of conversation, and right now, before we move on to talking about how the ladies responded, I would like to definitely focus on the state of black men in this country.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I do think that we're trying, right? But I also feel that we can do better. I do.
Of course.
I think there's some outlining factors that have to do with it. I do think I'm going to be honest with you. I do think that people still view us as predators. I still think that society views us as
Of course.
worthless.
Yeah.
I do think that society doesn't take black men that seriously as a whole. I do think that there are some of us that are doing well, but I also think that there's a lot
Right.
of us that aren't. I've been in situations at different jobs where I was not comfortable at my jobs. You know what I mean? Um, I've also been at jobs that black women were not treated with respect by their superiors as well. So I do think there's a lot of factors. I do think that generally speaking, I think that black men, I think we should also hold ourselves to a certain standard, and I think we have to maintain more of a self-respect that's not necessarily encouraged in this society. And that includes the type of women that we pursue. That includes the type of disrespect that we put up with from other men and from women
Yeah.
in our society. I think as black men, I think generally speaking, I think there's some things that we should not tolerate, which we do, which I think leads to our demise. And I also think that we should be more open about how we feel about things. Because I've noticed in a lot of circumstances, we're not really allowed to express when we have hurt feelings. And a lot of times our
Facts.
feelings,
They like fuck your feelings.
and a lot of times our feelings are hurt by other people who will hypocritically say, well, my feelings matter. You know? And I've been told many, many a times that fuck my feelings. Or it doesn't matter what you think because it matters what I think. Or it doesn't I don't care how you feel. I'm just gonna say it anyway or whatever, right? Sometimes it's deserved and sometimes it's not. But I think
Right.
but
Right.
I think it's easy for us to be pushed aside because to be honest with you, we're viewed just like how black women are viewed in the medical field as strong and that can endure pain. I think
Mm-hmm.
society also views black men as able to endure abuse as well.
That's a excellent parallel, man. That's fucking excellent. You're right.
Yeah,
You're absolutely right, man.
I think black people, I think we're expected to endure abuse. And you see that when like something racial happens to like another group of people, and black people we kind of mind our own business, you know what I mean? And then they
Yeah.
come out and they say,
Yep.
well, black people, you guys should help us because you know what it's like to be treated like shit. So people know that we're not respected in this country or in the world. But when we step up and say,
Yeah.
you know what, I ain't going to tolerate that anymore. This is what I require. This is what I demand. Then all of a sudden we're a problem. So I think as a whole, when it comes to us, when it comes to black boys, I think we need to teach ourselves self-respect. I think we need to teach ourselves what being a real man is. A real man takes takes care of his family. A real man protects women. A real man also, but at the same time too, a real man doesn't put up with bullshit. And I think what has happened is I think it's been conflated that now that a lot of men don't stand up to disrespect, that they're being labeled problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's provoked and sometimes it's not. So when it's unprovoked and the man's like, yo, don't talk to me like that, he's labeled problematic.
Yep. Yep.
Now, when it comes to Kevin Samuels, I think for a while, and then I'm going to show another Kevin Samuels video. I think for a while
Yeah.
he was very critical of men. I think that's important. I think unfortunately we live in a time where a lot of young boys are not getting the guidance that they need, which is why we have so many issues between men and women. Why a lot of men don't have respect for women and all that stuff.
But
I think I think some dudes come out of the gate from a toxic environment that affects them later in life. I think. Is it their fault? Maybe not. Probably not. But I also think knowing how to make lemonade out of lemons, is also a very important skill to have too. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
here's another video of Kevin Samuels that I'm going to share, and then I would love to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, sure.
All right. All right, here we go.
I need to really say this. I take no particular pride or pleasure in doing shows like this because I know it triggers certain black women. I know they do. I know some of them get pissed. I've heard women on YouTube saying things that they don't watch the show end to end, and I'm not gonna and that's not gonna change anything because there are far more women and far women who are listening. And who are the recipients? The women who listen end to end and are saying, well, you've changed my life, you've helped me look at this way or that way. Those women are benefiting. And guarantee when those women come into contact with men doing something, they all benefit. We're better off working with each other, trying to understand one another. None of us are perfect. Certainly not me. I ain't shit. I got a lot of problems. It's like anybody else. We all got issues. But just like Ice Cube, when the brother steps up to do something, support. Find ways to support. Even if you have an issue with something it's doing, can you find 4 or 5 things about it that you like before you start off with the one thing you don't like? Because you cannot keep painting black men in this ain't shit box. They don't all fit there. And brothers are starting to push back and say, no, 51% of us are single and childless and 64% in the middle class. They're here. Can you interact with them just in a peaceful, civil way? If you never get married and never have kids, can you have a higher quality of life? Can you just be happy? Can you stop walking through life with your hands up ready to fight the reflection of you, the opposite sex reflection of you? I don't walk through life looking at black women as though they're my enemy. And I would hope that for the black women who this applies, you stop walking through life assuming that black men are somebody to challenge, somebody to overcome, to struggle against.
I need to really say this.
Damn.
I take no particular pride.
So that's an image of Kevin Samuels that we did not see a lot, not in the media.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts of the video?
That's the crux of his message. Like the whole, calling chicks bitches or whatever, or being negatively critical. I've watched enough of his stuff, and I had to stop watching it. And I'll tell you why in a second. But he only got that way when he was provoked. He didn't just turn the camera on. They used to, like, on on some other. I'm not gonna mention, like, promoting other names, but other controversial YouTubers calling bees and stuff like that just randomly. That wasn't his style at all. He would try to conduct his show, and if you overtalked him, or if you were being extremely unrealistic or not digesting anything he was saying, or waiting to comment as opposed to listening and processing what he was saying, then that's when he would do that. And now you got to also understand too, as his numbers started to get bigger. Now, like with YouTubers, to be like a successful huge YouTuber, you got to kind of augment. You know what I'm saying? You'll have a certain way or a certain tone for a while. People get used to it, and then you step it up a notch. Because before he would never curse. You know what I'm saying? And he started saying bitches and motherfuckers. It just that's what it morphed into. But it was never like something that he initiated. He didn't even, like, his whole career. Like, you see how he started. He was real humble with the big ass ties, goofy and shit. He looked like you if he was in shape, but the bow ties and shit. He, you know what I'm saying? It morphed. It developed based on the market. He always would say the market dictates how you are if you're in this industry, and the market dictated him to be that. That's how he became so successful. But as far as like calling bees and all that stuff was provoked. It was never something that he initiated, man. But that clip, I never saw that clip that you played for me. But that clip, at the core, that summarizes what he was trying to do and who he was. It's like people getting mad, upset at him. Like he's saying, get in shape, take care of yourself. If you're a young man that doesn't have children, try to seek women that don't have kids, or if they do, hopefully they're outstanding and they're exceptional. He's trying to like, to me, build a better black community. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's advice I would give my son. Like, yo, try not to date a baby mama, but if you do, make sure she's on point. There's no drama. As far as the women, make sure this man has the ability to take care of you and your potential children. What the fuck is wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that message, but when you put the cussing and the insults and all that, that's the entertainment portion of the show. That's the entertainment. That's the ratchet. That's the basketball wives. Motherfuckers love basketball wives and housewives of Atlanta and love and hip hop, which say way worse shit than Kevin ever said. Because on top of them talking shit and saying crazy shit, motherfuckers is throwing drinks at each other. Kevin never assaulted
But
anybody,
that's
but nobody trying to cancel any of these
no. Go ahead.
these reality TV shows. Yeah, nobody's trying to cancel these reality TV shows. All these like rappers that died and had extremely misogynistic lyrics and probably like got caught up in jail and all kinds of crazy shit. But when they died, oh my god, I'm so sad. I'm not gonna call out any rappers. Y'all know the rappers. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna call nobody. I'll say Tupac. That's a prime example. You know what I mean? Like he was misogynistic towards women. One of the most beloved artists of all time that passed away. You understand? So why is it that all these other people, all these rappers and shit like that, they can talk their shit unprovoked, but this dude talks shit provoked, and it's entertainment, just like rappers. But he's the one like, oh, we happy that he died, and there's motherfuckers that did way worse shit that got celebrated when they passed away. It's fucking bullshit, man.
Well, first of all, I'm not gonna let you talk shit about my Lord and Savior Tupac Shakur. I'm not gonna let you do that. First of all.
Let me mark this clip.
First of all,
I'm marking that.
First of all, so like for a while, Kevin was mostly focusing on black men, which is what I agree with, right? I agree with that 100%. Then he started becoming an equal opportunist in the sense that he started criticizing black women. Now, when I say criticize, again, I don't necessarily mean that as a negative. There's people that are paid to be critics. Food critics, fashion critics, movie critics, etc., etc. So when people hear the word criticize, a lot of times people think that's a negative. A lot of times people get defensive when people are like, oh my God, you're criticizing me. Well, unfortunately, criticizing is a necessary truth to get better. Because and it's strange because we live in a society now where people don't like to be criticized. I mean, people have never been criticized, but now it's more of a thing where I can do my own thing. You know what I mean? I can do my own thing. I'm going to go ahead and just do whatever I want. My opinion matters, even though it might be wrong. But no one can actually say that to me because my self-esteem isn't strong enough for me, for people to tell me I'm wrong. But I'm also going to be able to tell other people that they're wrong.
Yeah.
You know what
I think
mean?
a lot of yeah. I also think a lot of people conflate the definition of criticism with the denigrate. You know what I mean? Like they hear criticism, they think you're just down on them. And yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, it's people just don't like to be told what to do. I mean, I remember I remember, on like there was this one person I matched with on dating apps, and in her voice memo she said, "I want to be with the person that's open to be criticized, respectfully, right?" And to me, I'm like, let me see how far this goes. And throughout the conversation that we were having, it turned out that she wanted to be the person criticizing. You can tell, like she didn't want to be criticized for anything. She wanted to be the person criticizing. So a lot of times it's nowadays in 2022, it's a one-sided battle when it comes to criticism. So when it came to him starting to have these conversations with black women on his platform, unfortunately, that's when he started getting notoriety I think I pronounced
Yeah.
that wrong.
Notoriety.
Notoriety. That's when he started getting his notoriety. And then that's when I think he started to notice that his bread was getting buttered.
Yeah.
And what happens is when money gets involved, when popularity gets involved, when social media clout gets involved, that's when people start selling out.
Yeah.
And that, unfortunately, was the issue that I started having with Kevin.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The thing is, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
The thing I was gonna say is, but as far as him capitalizing off of black women or capitalizing off of like black dysfunction, he's nowhere near the pioneer of that. You know what I mean? That shit's been happening like forever. You know what I mean? With all these reality TV shows and things of that nature, and you don't see as much of an outcry of canceling basketball wives, Housewives of Atlanta, XYZ. You know what I mean? And he didn't, like you said, he didn't start at that. He started, talking to the men and stuff like that. But the thing is, like, nobody really gives a fuck about black men. And the thing is, a lot of our sisters, like, not just black women in general, they just like the drama and the attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember growing up, I would really, really like a chick and I'm trying to be nice to her and blah, blah, blah. This bitch totally ignoring me. Then I tell somebody, like, one of my homies that knows her, man, fuck that bitch. That bitch stupid. She gets back to me immediately from that energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just unfortunate that negativity is such like a cap. It's such a money making tool. But that's what the fuck it is, man.
I'll be honest with you. That's extremely toxic.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
friends are extremely toxic. But for some
I was
reason,
in college. I was in
seems to
college,
be-
man.
That seems to be what people are looking at.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's and we have to take responsibility as an audience. As an audience, we need to take responsibility for that. The reason they make so many Marvel movies is because they make money, because we go and see them. The reason that Kevin Samuels became so popular is because once Kevin Samuels blew up with that viral video, he became a part of the black subconscious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if you go on dates now, the first question that people ask you is, do you watch Kevin Samuels? You know what I mean? And it's one of those things where people will determine whether they will take you seriously or they like you or not based on whether you like Kevin Samuels. And I think that's dangerous for us because I think we've lost our teeth in society. I think we don't really have respect as black people. We don't really have respect in society. And I think we allow other things to we identify with other things first before identifying as black. Now, for example, and this is mostly in social media. Unfortunately, what's starting now is that now social media is starting to bleed into like real life, which is very strange. But I mean, like, think about it this way. Think about most of the black couples that are in the public eye, right? And notice the difference. Denzel Washington's and his wife. You don't ever hear anything negative about them as a couple. You don't ever hear her complaining about anything. But at the same time, too, Denzel Washington isn't talking shit about black people or black women. Denzel Washington, when he gives advice, he's hyper focused on black men being men, and that's all Denzel Washington is going to do. Denzel Washington is a leader. Samuel Jackson and his wife, they've been together since 1980 something. Denzel Washington don't be talking shit about black people either. And his his wife, his wife isn't trying to be famous. Lakeith Stanfield and his girlfriend. And Lakeith is new. He's a new actor, right? And
I gotta look him up. I don't know.
Lakeith Stanfield's from Atlanta.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was in Judas and the Black Messiah. And his girlfriend, she's also an actress too, but they don't really talk too much about politics and all that stuff in public, right? And Lakeith has a reverence for black women. He respects black women. Forrest Whitaker and his ex-wife, still respect for black men, black women. Oprah and her husband, You don't hear Stedman don't say shit.
Yo, I just
Stedman
realized
don't-
you could be like, you kind of look like Stedman a little bit, man.
Well, we don't know what Stedman looks like. See, Stedman, we
That nigga.
don't know. We don't know as much about Stedman. We don't even know what that nigga looks like.
He
Right?
looks like Brian Gumble.
But no drama, right? The list,
No drama, yeah.
The list goes on. Viola Davis and her husband. Viola Davis is in the spotlight. Her husband is in the background. That nigga don't say shit.
Felicia
that's
Rashad, Ma Rashad.
That's,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
and then,
Felicia Rashad and Ma Rashad, yeah.
Yeah, and Courtney B. Vance and Angela Bassett, two famous actors.
Yeah.
No drama.
Yeah.
No drama.
Oh, I didn't know he was married to her.
Yeah, Angela, they've been married for years.
Oh shit.
The issue
I didn't even know that.
The issue is when people try to get that clout and get that attention, that's when we start having issues. I.e.
Yeah.
Jada Smith.
Yeah.
When Jada wanted to, because she had been in movies and stuff, but she's not going to play the second fiddle. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when she did, she said, "I'm going to do a show that revolves around drama because that's what people are attracted to."
Right.
However, if we're going to criticize Jada Smith, we also have to open the door to criticize Kevin Samuels as well. It got to a point,
yeah, of course,
when it came to the bread needs to be buttered. I need to get these followers up. Drama, what people are attracted to. That's what's going to get me my views.
Yep.
People are going to start talking about me. So what started happening, what I noticed, is that it got to a point where Kevin started getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the rumor, you and I talked about this, he drank a lot of Red Bulls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now the rumor is that cocaine was found in the system the night that he died. That's a rumor. That's allegedly.
I just heard though the platform that put that out, they retracted that. I literally just heard that. Like, yeah, that was retracted by the platform that put it. But it's already put out there though.
Yeah,
it's already out there.
I'm not going to say that's the truth, and I'm not going to say
it's
not
the
truth.
These are just
allegedly. But
they say Viagra too. Yep.
If he was a person that was using substances like that, we know he was drinking Red Bulls, but he was using substances like that. It really, what's the word? It really, I'm trying to be smart and I keep forgetting these big words. It really signals
minimizes.
No, it signals his
okay.
behavior. Because when you use substances like speed and cocaine and stuff like that, you eventually become irritable.
Yeah, that's a really, really, really good point. You absolutely right. Mood swings and shit. You know what I mean? Getting mad at nothing. Yeah, you're right. It might be something to it. Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows whether his reaction to these women on his Instagram and on his show was a result of him having all of those uppers in his system.
Yeah, because they said I think the toxicology report comes out this week.
Yeah.
So we'll know for certain. But he had over 1 million followers on. Yeah, I know, man. He had over 1 million followers on 2 different platforms, and he was trying to maintain that. And not sleeping or just he was a big proponent of if you want to be successful, sometimes you got to work 16, 18 hours with no sleep. One thing that nobody talks about, like all this hard work, and like I think Steve Harvey said some shit like, no man that's successful for sleep for 8 hours. He sleep for about 3 or 4 hours because he got to go out there and you know what I'm saying? And then a lot of people in the comments was like, yo, but that's not healthy. You can get a heart attack. Like, yes, you got to work hard. You got to go hard. But you still have to be conscious of the healthy things that you need to do to your body in order to maintain it. And I know we all want to get that bag. What does the bag mean if you getting it, but you die in 2 years because your heart exploded?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So nobody's talking about that. That yes, let's be high value. And he talks about health, but he's also talking about lack of sleep. And to me, that's bad advice to give to people. No, get your sleep that you need. You know what I'm saying? You can still maximize your time and get 8 hours of sleep. And they talking about sleep for 2 hours. Like, no, motherfucker,
Yeah.
all these celebrities and shit that die at 27 because they living that hard, fast ass life, you know?
Because
Yeah.
you, I mean, I live in Los Angeles and I'm broker than a McDonald's ice cream machine. So I mean, you know, I get it. It's that desperation. It's that
Yeah,
desperation of trying to make it, of trying to keep your head above water.
yeah,
But if we're gonna talk about the positive of Kevin's statements, we have to talk about the negatives too. And this is why.
yeah. Of course.
And
And I'll tell
this
you why I
is.
stopped watching them in a second. Once you're done, I'll tell you why I stopped watching them. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
you say it first because I'm about to show a video that kind of like
All right.
encapsulates.
So the reason why it's not because after a while it's this high value 100,000. When you're not in that position of all the things that he says a high value man is supposed to have, after a while it could be pretty fucking depressing, yo. You know, it's like watching a whole bunch of rich, famous celebrity people just bragging about all this shit. And if you're not there, you know, or if you have a ways to get there, for me, yes, it motivated me in some ways, but in a lot of ways, it made me feel depressed. It didn't make me feel like resentful towards women, like nothing like that. I felt like that way before I met Kevin.
Yeah.
But it just made me just feel inadequate and feel depressed. Like I would literally sometimes I'll be hearing this shit and I'll just be getting down. You ain't got this, you fat, blah blah blah. And but see the thing is, a lot of things that he's saying is he's doesn't know me, but it speaks to me. So after a while, just hearing constant criticism of where you should be, where you should be, where you should be, where you should be, it can weigh on you. And that shit was weighing on me. So I had to get away from it. So every now and again I would hop in, listen to some shit to get entertained. But I was like, yo, okay, I'm working out now. I eat better. I don't eat fast food. Okay, I'm doing great shit. But just the over consumption of it, it just had me depressed. It was starting to get me depressed. So I had to get away from that shit. And not just him, a whole bunch of other YouTubers that be on that bullshit, like Fresh and Fit or whatever. Like after a while, I'm like, I can't listen. I gotta build me up. I can't listen to these motherfuckers, man. You know what I mean?
Well,
Right?
I say again, fuck Fresh and Fit.
What
If we blow
about
up,
Abba and Preach?
At least Abba and Preach are funny.
Yeah.
And they
I
don't
haven't watched them
just
too much,
and
but I
they
knew.
just and they don't really just talk about relationship. They talk about a lot of shit. They're funny.
Oh, okay.
They're also stand
I
up
never really
comedians.
watched them.
They're stand up comedians.
Oh,
So
but
shout
I
out
just
to Abba
knew
and Preach.
they. I just remember like a couple years back or like last year they broke into like Fresh and Fit studio, and like Myron had the fucking gun or like off to the side, like all that shit's on camera. That shit is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
though.
nobody really, to be honest with you, no other YouTubers really like Fresh and Fit.
Nah, and they're not 80. They're not ADOS. Like one is like Arabian, the other one's from like the Caribbean,
Well,
so they have different
and
sensibilities
also
when
they
it
don't
comes to
know
the
what the
black
fuck
community. You
they
know?
don't know what the fuck they're talking about ever.
Yeah, they just got money.
They
That's
just
it.
got money
If me and you
have a studio. Fuck.
if me and you had a constant like flux of rotating $100,000 or whatever, we could have 5 bitches in the studio talking shit to them too, y'all, all day and kicking them out.
First of all, 5 young ladies.
Okay.
Everyone. I'm trying to detox. I'm trying to detox Mo from saying bitches.
Well, I'm speaking from the perspective of F and F though. Like now, you know what I mean? Like 'cause a lot of them chicks is on some bullshit.
Now he's trying to be.
I'm saying, I'm saying if we were them, you know, and they refer to them as bitches. They don't call them ladies. There's no ladies that go on their show, man. They straight up just facts. You know that. Come on now. I mean, every now and again, yes, we had Miss Pearly.
Don't drag me into this. I'm saying we're gonna have some nice young ladies.
You got
and producers and all that stuff on our show to talk about what they're working on.
You got like a goatee from like a Vietnam, like you in Vietnam, like a black man in the 1960s. you just finished shooting up the Viet Cong.
I live in a van now because I don't trust the government.
All you need is like the green, like the military Fidel Castro hat, and Newport in your ear, and a sidearm.
We're getting off topic, fat Malcolm X. Let's go.
He said, "I ain't got no problem with no Viet Cong. They ain't never did nothing to black peoples."
So this is this is the video. So this is the video that came up,
All right, let's watch it.
and this is why
Yeah,
I'm
let's watch it.
saying that I think. So the context. Okay, so the context of this video is up until this point, the video was going well. Like the interview was going well. You know, they weren't yelling at each other. Kevin wasn't really being disrespectful, but this is where I think he lost it. For me.
Am I right?
No, the question is how to make your child an asset to that man. That makes her an okay person. But how can your doubt? And this is a question all women are going to have to answer for themselves. How are my children benefiting you as my husband?
I never thought about that.
Well, and that's the problem.
What would you suggest? I'm just wondering because
I would say it's going to be extremely difficult. But what I would suggest is women who actually think about it from the man's side, understanding that my child today is a liability because it costs. So number one, is she well-mannered, well-behaved? Does she understand? And do I really believe that you're going to come second to my husband? Is my husband going to come first? Is it we're a package deal? A package deal? That's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal. That's no deal because your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower.
the relationship would have to end.
Huh?
That's not something the relationship would end immediately.
Because your daughter said I looked at her getting out of the shower.
Why would that person even be close to the bathroom to see her? That would be the thing. You have to defend your seed. You have to defend your child.
But you also remember you got 2 of my kids. That means I should never listen to it. That means I should avoid women. Your desire to defend your 2. You got 2 of my kids, and off rip, your protective instinct says fuck everything, including those other 2 kids. Do you?
No,
you said the relationship would have to end. So what would you tell our 2 children?
That's a tough situation.
No, you said the relationship would have to end. So
it would have to end because.
But what would you tell
any of my kids? If I have 3 kids, 1 by someone else and 2 by my.
But what I'm telling you, what I'm saying is, what we tell our 2 children.
Your half sister stated this happened, and this is not a comfortable situation. We have to part ways.
You get the fuck out. You can get the fuck out.
Because I'm not the one paying the bills.
No, because you're not taking my kids. See, that's what I mean. Y'all act like y'all got too much power.
It's not power. I'm really
First of all, you didn't even. First off, you didn't even. I just said if she said it, you didn't even question whether or not the claim was there. Because that's your child. That's what I'm saying. Your child can never be an asset to anybody, because that's the bomb that's always there.
Okay.
Because, and what the fuck? What could a man do about that? I could provide everything. We could have children, and automatically you're gonna jump off rip, go for your child. Your child. So don't ask me to treat your child like it's biologically mine when you be willing to blow up my biological children's shit for something else. And kids can say anything.
They can, but you have to protect your kids at all costs.
Then
and you have to talk.
Then no. Leave. No. See, I want you to understand that you have no empathy for men. It's about you and your kid. I'm somebody's child.
Yeah.
What about those children we have together? Man, you're not right in this.
I'm not debating you.
We're debating the concept.
Yeah,
but you got to protect your kids at all costs. So then you need to go be with your child's father
And y'all need to work that out so that can never come up. Because let's switch the situation. If I'm that child's biological father, and she comes out of the shower, and 10 years later, Daddy looked at me a certain kind of way, and I'm her biological dad, then what do you say? But you notice how you couldn't pull rank on me? You couldn't pull that. We got to separate.
All right, so how do you feel about
that? It's an extreme hypothetical, but what he's saying is true though. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna take the side of her biological child and believe the child before she believes the husband, as she should. But he's saying when you have a man who's dating a woman who has somebody else's children, they're always going to trump over him. I see what he's saying, but it's still an extreme. It's an extreme case. But I see exactly what he's saying though.
I definitely can see how it can be interpreted as toxic, because there are a lot of circumstances where women's husbands have molested their children and targeted their children.
For sure.
So I can definitely see how it can be triggering for people, for a lot, because a lot of us that have grown up have been molested, and well, not me, but some of people we know have gone through that, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I can understand how it can be triggering. Not a fan that he touched on that as a
subject. I think it was
it feels like it was one of those like viral moments, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was a poor example, man.
Yeah. And that's why I was saying sometimes Kevin would go into these deep-ended conversations, and I was like, "Whoa," you know what I mean? Like, "Bro, that's unnecessary." Like,
but
you didn't have to do that.
But it's like you said. But it's like you said. Like once things started to bubble, and he realized that the more I push, the more I get. He's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just talk about." You know what I mean? Like it's like you said. It's to the point. It's almost like he sold out because that's a conversation. That's like some obvious shit. Not even to have a discussion about. You know what I'm saying? That's obvious. Like if your daughter,
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, I was like, if you know what I'm saying, you got your daughter, and your daughter accuses your new husband of boyfriend of looking at her in a way, like that's not even a discussion. That like we know that the matriarchal thing is going to kick in. You're going to believe your daughter first. Yes, kids say whatever. You're going to investigate it, but initially, you've known your daughter longer than you've known your significant other, so you're at least going to give her the benefit of the doubt. That's automatic, though. You know what I mean? That's not even like a discussion worth having. You know what I'm saying? That's automatic.
It's also like, if your audience is supposedly high value men, why are we even talking about this?
Why are we even talking about that being a potential? But I get what he's saying. Like, you can't lose the game of chess if you never play it. Meaning, like certain situations, if you don't want to deal with a chick that has baby daddy drama, don't deal with a chick with baby daddies. Like even before we even get to that point. Not dealing with certain people in certain demographics and certain situations will enable you to miss all that is associated with said situations.
And that's very true. Mm-hmm. It's I think people need to understand each other. And I also I also feel that I think from people like Kevin Samuels and even Jada and even like the Pink Pill and even like other type of YouTube Fresh and Fit and stuff like that, I think there's always going to be listeners that take the wrong things from them.
Yeah, for sure.
They will always focus on the negative. Like, for example, a lot of men that listen to Kevin Samuels exhibit toxic behavior. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like living in their mama's basement, getting on Clubhouse and being like, how much do you weigh? How old are you? Do you have any... No one gives a fuck what you have to say about women.
Yeah.
Because you don't have your shit together.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It forms a self-entitlement. You know what I'm saying? It's like you see the prize, but you don't respect the work that goes into getting said prize. But this is the thing, yo. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Samuels is speaking to a certain echelon of people,
Yeah.
but the message resonates with everybody. With the broke ass bum, that, you know what I'm saying, that's collecting cans, but somehow got a cell phone. He gonna look at that shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? High value. Fuck these bitches. Be like, no, he's not talking to you. You're not high value. He's just saying this is what it is. It's kind of like that's why like Facebook was cool when it first came out because it was exclusive. It was only for college students.
Mhm.
Kevin Samuels like the early Facebook. It's supposed to be for a certain demographic, a certain group, a certain elite group. But then when that shit went public and they opened it for everybody, like everybody feels like they're this high value person, or they deserve this type of chick, or they deserve this type of high value dude. And it's just like, no, he's a NASA professor speaking to motherfuckers that's trying to fly spaceships. He's not speaking to every single body.
When
Everybody
when they,
internalizes it.
when
Yeah.
they start letting those Android users in, that's when it became a problem.
Hey. I resent that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so here's my question for you.
Question
And
away.
then I guess we'll wrap the subject up with this. Here's my question
Mhm.
for you. Do you think that Kevin Samuels in the long run has helped the black community?
Yes, I do. Yeah, because he helped me, and I'm a part of the black community, so I do. And there are a lot of testimonials and people calling up. You know, for all the people that crap on him, there's a whole bunch of videos and a whole bunch of people just giving thanks and giving praise. So to an extent, yes, it's really it's how you use it. It's how you use the information. Like ultimately, it's just put out there, and if you want to use it, get in shape, do X, Y, Z, and improve yourself. Like he said, put yourself like in a prison, a metaphorical prison, and just work hard, 16-hour days for a year, get your money right, and get in shape. Cool. But if you want to do the flip side and just talk shit about these B's or talk shit about these N words, you know what I mean, and act like you deserve X, Y, Z, and this and that, and just shitting on people for like decisions they made in life, whether they baby mamas or whether they got in trouble, you can do it on that end. But ultimately, has it helped? I think it's a case by case thing. It's helped some people, but it's been a detriment to some people. You know what I mean? It's all a matter of how you use it. But for me personally, it's helped me personally. You know.
Yeah.
How about what do you think?
I think to those that are mature enough to take the message and apply it to themselves only,
Mm-hmm.
sure. I think overall, no. But I think that has to do a lot more with us than it does with Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
You know why?
Yeah, for sure.
You know
Why
why
is that?
you know why I say that?
I said, why
Because
is that?
as a community, we don't take criticism well. Um,
No, we don't.
Do you remember Bill Cosby's pound cake speech?
You know what? I know the gist of it, but I haven't heard it though. I always hear about it, but I've never like looked it up.
So, Bill Cosby's pound cake speech was a very raw. It was like the first time Bill Cosby cursed in public.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know,
Why is it called pound? Why is it called pound cake? That's my
So
question.
for those of you that don't know, Bill Cosby received a NAACP Legal Defense Fund Award, where it was to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Brown versus Board of Education Supreme Court decision. And he got on stage and he criticized the black community in the United States. He criticized our use of Ebonics, or AAVE, aka African American Vernacular English, the prevalence of single-parent families in the black community, perceived emphasis on frivolous and conspicuous consumption of at the expense of necessities, lack of responsibility, and other behaviors. Right? And the scenario was, while he was giving his speech up in the like balcony of the theater or whatever, there was like past political activists, civil rights political activists, right, who were active during the 50s and 60s. And I will read to you what he said. He said, "But these people."
I knew it was coming.
But these people, the ones up here in the balcony, fought so hard. This is how I imagine he's saying it. looking at the incarcerated, these are not political criminals. These are people going around stealing Coca-Cola. People getting shot in the back of the head over a piece of pound cake. And then we all run out and are outraged. The cops shouldn't have shot him. What the hell was he doing with the pound cake in his hand? I wanted a piece of pound cake just as bad as anybody else and some pudding. And I looked at it and I had no money. And something called parenting said, if you get caught with it, you're going to embarrass your mother. Not you're going to get your butt kicked. No, you're going to embarrass your family. My wife, Camille, and my son, Ennis, and my 2 daughters who live in Connecticut or Massachusetts. I don't know where they are. I've been in jail. So that was basically like the gist, right? The
gist,
pound cake speech was referring to people steal pound cake and Coke, and then the cops shoot them, and then we go out and we protest.
He's saying he's saying they shouldn't have been stealing in the first place, basically.
Yeah, which is kind of the conversation that you and I have had before, when a lot of we're protesting the unruly deaths because no one should be killed no unarmed person should be killed by the police. True.
No.
But you do investigate into these people, and they're like, yeah, but they do kind of. There's no justification, but at the same time,
but it doesn't help.
Doesn't help. You know what I mean?
Doesn't help
because you're trying to defend this person, and then you find out that they're like You're like, oh my god, I'm like,
shit. Yeah.
So then he goes on to say he started criticizing the lack of parenting in the black community, and he said, in the neighborhood that most of us grew up in, parenting is not going on. In the old days, you couldn't hooky school because every drawn shade was an eye. And
hockey.
Before,
hooky. I mean hooky. Oh.
Yeah, you couldn't hooky school. That's what I said. You couldn't hooky school.
Play
Bill
hooky.
Cosby, Bill Cosby talked weird.
Yeah, I was like, what? What the fuck? Go ahead.
Couldn't hooky school because every drawn shade was an eye. And before your mother got off the bus into the house, she knew exactly where you had gone, who had gone into the house, and where you got on whatever you had on, and where you got it from. Parents don't know that today, right? Then he went on to say, which is the part that really, this is the part that really got him in trouble. He said the African Americans should no longer blame discrimination, segregation, government institutions, or others for high employment rates among blacks or the racial achievement gap. Rather, they have their own culture of poverty to blame. Then he praised the Nation of Islam in dealing with crime in the cities when it says, when you want to clear your neighborhood out, first thing you do is go get the black Muslims, bean pies and all, and your neighborhood is then clear. The police can't do it. Then he went on and criticized black Christians in their inability to create positive social change for the urban population by saying, I'm telling you, Christians, what's wrong with you? Why can't you hit the streets? Why can't you clean it out yourselves? Then he said, Cosby also attacked black naming conventions, saying, we are not Africans. Those people are not Africans. They don't know a damn thing about Africa. With names like Shaniqua, Shalingua, Muhammad, and all that crap, and all of them are in jail. God damn, Bill Cosby.
The funny thing is, like, I feel everything that he's saying, though, but it's the presentation, though. You know what I'm saying? And
Bill Cosby came out swinging.
Yeah.
That's why
he's saying some real shit.
That's why when Bill Cosby got out of jail, people were like, he needs to go on tour because we want to hear what he has to say. Because Bill Cosby can say some real shit.
Yeah. He says some real shit. It's just if you're a hypocrite though, like, with his past, but if you're like a hypocritical person, it's hard to like champion. It's hard to be that voice because look at your whole life.
And that's what happened. If Bill and that's what I'm saying. Now,
okay.
Bill Cosby is garbage. And the first thing that people said is, how this nigga gonna tell us that we ain't shit when he ain't shit?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, he's literally the worst crimes. He's talking about people being in jail. Well, guess what, Bill Cosby? Now you're in jail.
yeah.
I mean, he's out now, but
You remember on the Boondocks, the cartoon? He's like, "Will you niggas please be quiet?" Yeah, you should find that. Find that clip, man. Will you niggas please be quiet? He was like,
but
"How much to get in?" He's like $50. $50 each. He said, I don't care if it's, he says Martin Luther King. I don't care if it's Malcolm X, nigga. You both paying $50 to get in this church. But go
that's so funny. But I mean,
oh man.
but even like Chris Rock when he
Yeah,
did in words versus black people,
yeah.
you know,
They got some
He got criticized for that too.
they got stand up from Chris Rock in the 80s shitting on weave. In the 80s. He been doing it. You know what I mean? He said,
Yeah.
black women with these weaves, I hate that shit, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, back in the 80s and in the 90s, like Def Comedy Jam, weave was always like the butt of the jokes.
Yeah.
All right,
But
here we
women,
go.
they still love it though. Yeah, all right. You find it? Will you niggas please be quiet? Oh my god, the Boondocks is fucking brilliant, man. But like, too many people. And niggas they fighting.
I have to admit that episode did. You know what? When I saw that episode, this is how much I care about black people.
uh,
When I saw that episode, I cried because I'm a pussy.
oh man.
And the reason I cried, and it's even getting me a little bit choked up now.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I cried is because I believe it's what really would happen.
Yeah.
I believe that as a community we are so disjointed and we hate ourselves so much that even if we had like a Martin Luther King, I don't like this country has done a job on us
Yeah.
so much that I
Yeah.
don't even know if we can be helped.
And yeah.
And we try and we try and we try and we try, and the collective, it's almost like if you're protesting a company.
Mm-hmm.
John Lester has a joke.
I saw him
Check
last
out
night too.
check out his app, Blap. Everyone, make sure you download Blap.
Okay.
John Lester, great comedian. But he has this joke where he talks about protesting like H&M or like a racist company, right? And one of the black dudes is like, "Yo, are we thirsty? I'm gonna go in this store and get some water for us real quick." And he goes in, but then they hire him. And then he comes out and says, "All you niggas gotta get out of here because you my place of employment."
Yeah.
And it's almost like a lot of us, they get us. A lot of us are easily bought. You know what I mean? And I think I think I think what needs to happen is we have to be black first. We're so envious of other communities, and we're so adamant about them not viewing us as everybody else because of the negative connotation that black people have in this country and in the world. So we're very much trying to fight the we're not all monolithic type of thing, or respectability politics. Like we should just be able to just do whatever we want and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why it's hard for us to accept criticism, and because there's that people with low self-esteem don't accept criticism well because it
No.
feels like they're being punched down on. And this country has done so well in breaking down our self-esteem that when we stand up to be proud of who we are, it looks strange to a lot of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And unfortunately, what has happened, and again, that's why I say I don't think Kevin Samuels has really helped us because it's turned into men versus women.
Yeah, more fighting.
Because
It's probably increased the gender wars. You're right. I agree.
Yeah, and it's because and they're using Kevin Samuels as a linchpin for an excuse. Now let me play something for y'all off of.
Now, while you out to play, I had a thought, but it goes back to what I said. Facebook was cooler when it was more exclusive for a certain group. If his message was just exclusive for that group of people that he was talking about, if it was more private, that would be an issue. But once it went public, that's when it became a problem. Yeah, that's when it became a problem. Yep.
Listen to this.
Oh my God, yo. Pause it. Can you pause it for a second?
Yeah.
Just 1 sec. Now, why is it somebody like that getting dragged like a motherfucker? Because that's worse than anything Kevin Samuels ever said. Period, man. That's terrible, man.
That's why I'm playing it.
But go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. What?
All right.
What the
That's
fuck?
enough of that shit. So
That shit was I don't easily get triggered. That's some triggering shit, man. I did a whole video about black chicks that up talk other races while putting blacks down, or just I hate that shit. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately,
that's
the
crazy,
result. So there's two things about that. That's the result of a Kevin Samuels like person becoming popular. However, it's gotten to a point now where black men need somebody to uplift them and to encourage us to be better. Because we live in a society where that's not happening.
No.
So, as much as I hear people say we want to get rid of racism, we want to get white supremacy, we want to get rid of injustice and all that stuff, I hear what you're saying. But nothing has convinced me otherwise. That's what we really want.
Yeah. Especially with coon ass shit like that.
Because just like Kevin Samuels knew where his bread was buttered, and he harnessed that to become popular, so does everybody else. And that's why
He was just the best at it.
And that's why
he was the best at that shit.
That's why I think we have to. It's gotten to a point where we need to be black first.
Yeah.
Because if we lead by emotion, if we lead by everything else ahead of ours, when it comes full circle, we never. Everybody else is Asian first. Everybody else is Jewish first. Everybody else is LGBT first. Everybody else is woman first. Man first. And those collective groups get the reparations and respect that they need. But black people collectively are the ones that are at the bottom. So those are my thoughts about all of that. Kevin Samuels, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, man. Great segment. Great freaking segment, man. This was awesome, man. You know? So I shed tears over him passing away, man. I'm not even gonna hold you though. Like, because like I said, I never had a father. My mother had a boyfriend for like 10 years at one point and 11 years at another. But in my formative years, even like my sister's father, he was there, but he always was on the road working. And she left him when I was about 11, so I still was like going through puberty. I didn't have a male figure to give me the game of dating and things of that nature once I started developing as a man. He was there in my baby years, but not I just never had that, you know? So anytime I meet a powerful male figure that has good advice, whether it's on the internet or whether it's in real life, I try to take and absorb as much as I possibly can. You have some man qualities that I didn't grow up with that you know what I'm saying, that I what's the word I'm looking for, that I take heed to. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I try to take elements because I didn't have that at all. So I try to take bits and pieces from everybody. So, you know, Kevin, I cry over Patrice O'Neal. Even years later, just listen to a lot of Opie and Anthony, and then I'm like, damn, that was a good motherfucker. Like, you know, you just kind of dwell on it. It's like 3 celebrities I cried over: Michael Jackson, Patrice O'Neal, Kevin Samuels. I shed tears for all 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? Because they all had. Huh?
And don't let anyone shame you. Don't let anyone shame you for that.
Nah. They can't. They can try. They can talk shit or whatever, but they don't know how that inspired me. Like I said, when I started really working out and really focusing, even though she and I aren't together, I got one of the sexiest, baddest chicks I've ever had. Younger chick, 14, 15 years younger than me, and I'm broke, and I still got her. But I feel like if I wasn't watching him and carrying myself a certain way, I couldn't even have gotten that. Period. You know what I mean? So he's helped me as far as just staying on your purpose and really, like, you know what? If your money ain't right, if your purpose isn't worked out, yes, we want to get our freak on with these chicks and stuff like that. But I still have the understanding to know that that's why I'm out here in Yonkers right now on some random Airbnb doing comedy and stuff like that, because I'm chasing my purpose. I could easily just be home. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to just work 16 hours a day doing a limo job or whatever. But no, like, listening to Kev is inspired me to really go at these dreams, really focus on myself. You know what I mean? And just have a more of a masculine, like, more of a high value mindset, even though I may not be high value. So to see him just pass away, and it's not just him passing away, but like just so many people making fun of him and celebrating that shit as if that's going to make their life better, as if the world is a better place because he's gone. That makes me sad. When you got so many other people that are still alive, they'll be like, oh, this was God's will. It was God's will that he passed away. I was like, well, it was God's will. But I said, you know, the person that accused Emmett Till lived into her 90s. The people that killed Emmett Till live into their 90s. George Zimmerman just walking around. So it's God's will to take away Kevin Samuels, who's trying to, yes, he has a harsh message, but ultimately he wants black families to come together in a non-toxic situations. That's God's will to take that away. But it's also God's will to let Emmett Till's accusers live into their 90s. Shut the fuck up, yo. You know what I'm saying? That got nothing to do with God. Just things just happen. God ain't wasting his time with it. God is making sure that the sun doesn't explode. God is making sure that, like, Adam's still staying on axis and we don't fucking explode as human. God is worried about some shit that's on a high fucking level. You think Jeff Bezos is basically the god of Amazon? You think he wasn't worried about what some dishwasher doing at the bottom, yo? You know what I'm saying? He ain't not worried about that shit. He has systems and things in place that they worry about. I'm not worried about that shit. I'm trying to keep the company together. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep the stars and the planets aligned and shit. You worrying about fucking getting a husband or something? Like, you think God care about that, some bullshit like that? No. That's another thing I hate. Oh, I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna pray, and God gonna get me. And man, you got all these motherfuckers dying. You got kids that's abducted and shit like that. You got all these crazy things in the world, and God worrying about the pussy that you about to get or the dick that you gonna get. Motherfuckers do be praying for pussy though, and praying for that. Yeah. So I just, you know what I'm saying, like that. But that stuff, I'm making it funny now. But that shit really triggered me. Like people, yay! I don't care if he died, whatever. He was shit. Fuck him, because his message was harsh. So people got to die because their message is harsh. But I'll bring it to you like this: even in the Bible, Jesus Christ, people thought his message was harsh. They killed him. People thought Moses' message was harsh. He got killed. Elijah, that motherfucker just disappeared. We don't even know, like, you know what I'm saying? They couldn't find the body. He just evaporated. You know what I'm saying? But Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all these people had great messages that kind of went against society and went against the status quo, but to try to improve the society. And what happens? They always get imploded on. They always get fucking killed. Like I can't think of no Khalid Muhammad. You could just keep Martin Luther. You can keep going down the names, and like anytime you have this big voice that wants to like hold people accountable and try to improve the world, by improve the world, but individually, like by case by case, person by person basis, they always get fucking devoured and imploded on. So people like you, people like me, yeah, I think we have the intelligence, and and we have the intelligence and the talk game to kind of like champion those ideas. But we see so many motherfuckers die from that shit. It's like, yo, I kind of want to. I want to live.
I'm just gonna chill. I'm just gonna go over here.
I'm a support, but I'm like, yo, I kind of enjoy life.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of which,
okay.
So our dog Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, we a little late, but
got tackled on stage. I was actually at that show. He got tackled. He got attacked at the end of his set at his show Tuesday night at the Hollywood Bowl. I was there. I was all the way in the fucking back, in the nosebleed section. I was in W2. That was the place I went with my boy Ron Josel, who I had just finished working with in Ontario Improv with Godfrey. Very nice Canadian kid. Actually, he's older than me, so, but nice, really nice Canadian funny comedian. Make sure you guys check him out. So we went to the Hollywood Bowl, and the show was dope. The show was very cool. The show, it was sold out, which is not easy to do because the Hollywood Bowl is a big motherfucker.
What's the seating size? You know, capacity. 2,000.
1,000?
A couple thousand or something like that. Yeah.
Nigga, what? No, the Hollywood Bowl.
20,000. My bad. My man. I'm sorry, man. Shit.
The Hollywood Bowl is 17.
I'll find out.
17,500.
Oh man. Yep. Damn.
And
it was sold out. You said.
Yeah, I went to see John Mulaney last night, and his show was mostly sold out too at the Hollywood Bowl. He was also at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, okay. He crushed it. I bet John crushed it, didn't he?
Yeah, he was real funny. So on the show was Leslie Jones. Well, Jeff Ross was hosting. Then Leslie Jones, Michelle Wolf, Sebastian Maniscalco, Jon Stewart, Earthquake.
Damn, it's a crazy lineup.
Chris Rock came out as a surprise. When Chris Rock came out, they didn't even announce that he came out. They just played some music and he walked out. He walked out.
Yeah.
They didn't say his name until after. Like, he just walked out on stage and he started talking and he burned through his material, dog. And he
really?
when Chris Rock does a spot, they treat Chris Rock like he's doing the show, like he's like headlining the show. Like, they play his song and he comes out. Everyone cheers for him. He does the thing, and then at the end, he drops the mic.
Yeah.
He does the thing, and he walks off stage, and then they say, Chris Rock. Then the Jabberwockies.
What do you do, like 20 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
Uh-huh.
Then he had the Jabberwockies came out.
I have no idea. I have no idea who that is.
They're the dance crew from remember MTV? They wear masks.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Okay.
And then they had this rap group come out afterwards. I forget their name. Costa. Let me look them up. I just started following them on Instagram.
I think hold up.
Is it Costa? Coast, like who? Let me find my phone.
Costa Contra.
Costa Contra.
Yo, there's twin sons. They are sons to my favorite rapper of all time, Raz Kaz. They're pretty dope too. But it's this one dude in the group. I forget what his. Yeah, they're pretty dope. I just found out about him a couple of days ago, last week. But this one dude in the group, he's like a Busta Rhymes in the group. He stands out. He's like real high energy. I forget what his name is. His Hold on. What the fuck? What the fuck is his name? They're not saying.
Costa Contra.
Costa Contra. Yeah. Costa Contra. Yep.
Damn, I thought I was following them, but
they're dope. When I heard them cats got skills, man. Because Raz Kaz is one of the greatest lyricists of all time, man. He got this song called "Nature of the Threat," where he basically talks about like the origin of.
How do you? Oh no, Coast Contra. Yeah,
Coast Contra. Yeah.
They came out and did their thing. They were pretty dope.
Yeah, they're dope. But Raz Kaz got this song called "Nature of the Threat," where it basically talks about like the origin of racism and white people, how they was created by Yakub and shit in the Caucasus Mountains. Like the shit is crazy. Like this, and then he has another song called "Interview with a Vampire" on his second album, and it's basically a conversation between God, Satan, and man. So those rappers come from a lineage of one of the greatest fucking rappers of all time. Matter of fact, Raz Kaz inspired Eminem. Any of those Eminem type rappers that you hear of, they all used to listen to Raz Kaz before they blew up, though. Yep. Kendrick Lamar, all those motherfuckers. Pharoah Monch, Raz Kaz, though. Yeah. But go ahead. So
I'm about to get into Raz Kaz today.
Oh my God, Raz Kaz. Listen to that. 2 songs, Nature of the Threat, that's the first one, and then Interview with a Vampire. That's the second one. It's going to blow your as an ex-Jehovah's Nature of the Threat. As an ex-Jehovah's Witness, that's why I love that, because he's so like esoteric, and he just talks about scriptures and history and shit. Like he said he was almost going to become a Jehovah's Witness at one point. He said that shit. So when you listen to it, you'll get it. You'll be like, okay, all right, okay, I get it. Yep.
Man, that's what's up. That's
Yep.
dope. That's dope. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Raz Kaz is a fucking beast, man.
Coast Contra, the fact that Coast Contra got a chance to perform, at the Hollywood Bowl in front of like almost 18,000 people is just amazing.
Yeah. I'm about to follow him right now. Yep.
And then after all of that, then Chappelle came out and did his set.
Mm-hmm.
And his set was good. I mean, I had seen him work on it, at the Comedy Store and all that stuff prior. And so what people don't know about what happened is that Chappelle had already finished his set. His set was done, and he had dropped the mic and he had walked off stage, right? Mm-hmm. So at that point, my friend and I, Ron, we were leaving. We were walking down the steps, walking out. And he came back on stage. He's like, wait a minute, everyone, I'm not done. And then that's when he introduced Mos Def and Talib Kweli, Black Star, to do a song or two. And as he's introducing them, that's when this happens.
Yeah. What the fuck? He ran backstage that Dave.
So this is
I'll be the laughing this shit.
This is the part that we didn't see, but we heard it.
He sidestepped it pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty quick. I mean, I bet you learn how
Yeah,
to
he
fight.
sidestepped. That's that because I think he knows.
Yeah,
That is they beating his ass.
that's I forget what her name is,
Uh-huh.
but she's like on his road manager team. She's real nice. I forget her. I think her name's Heather.
So is that them? They stomping him out right there?
Yeah,
That's the beatdown.
yeah, they did it like on stage.
He
Now at
deserved
this
it. That's
now
he
at this
deserved
point,
it.
so now at this point, my friend and I, because what happened was when he started introducing Most Def, we said, "Oh, we want to see this." So we were actually looking for some steps to like stand up on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we heard the scuffling, and we're like, "What the fuck?" So then we stood up, and when we stood up on the steps and whatever, that's when we saw them running around the stage. So
Mm-hmm.
after that, we saw everything else. We saw them like beating them up on stage, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We saw this part. So what ended up happening? What ended up happening? He was like, "Yo, get that motherfucker out of here." He's like, "Get him out of here. Don't do it on the stage. Get him out, right?" And
Mm-hmm.
and Chris Rock came out and he grabs the mic. He says, "Was that Will Smith?" And everyone
Yep,
laughed.
I remember that.
And then then that's when Dave did the shout out. He's like, "I want to shout out Busta Rhymes and Jamie Foxx." So Jamie Foxx came out and he had this fucking cowboy hat on. And Dave goes, anytime there's some trouble, Jamie Foxx is going to show up in a cowboy hat or in a sheriff's hat or whatever. And Jamie Foxx said his thing and whatever. And they went on with the show. I mean, they did. Black Star came out, did their thing. And apparently famous people were in the front row. As a comedian, you've made it when famous people come and see you. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even get friends or like other comedians to like come and see me perform. You understand? But to get like
Mm-hmm.
famous motherfuckers like Beyonce and Jay-Z and Elon Musk and Jamie Foxx and Busta Rhymes and all those people to come and see you, you have made it. You have made
Yeah.
it as an artist.
Hell yeah.
Um,
Side note. Speaking of which, Andre Kim's show last night, like a celebrity boxer came to see Holmes. His name is oh my god. But I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I can't think of his name, but it's like he got one
famous. Go ahead.
famous. Like he was a fucking former WBO world champion. He beat Miguel Cotto.
Yeah.
Like famous. One of them, and one of the people that was in his entourage is a Instagram personality, 1.5 million followers. I was like, bruh, and they loved me. Like I was getting mad love. I was like, bruh, just give me a shout out, give me something. Let me get like 2,000 of them. You know what I mean? But I see what you're saying. It relates to what you're saying.
If famous people come, and fuck with you, you've made it. Somehow.
Andre made it, yo. He made it, man. That shit is crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, just for those people out there that are my quote unquote friends, and they don't. I have fans that come and see me, but if my quote unquote friends don't come see me rock out, then we need to rethink our friendship.
To me, you made it too because you had me in some Zoom rooms, table readings, and there was some celebrities and shit that I looked up to as a child. So, and they all came for you too. But it's not a paid show though. It's just some niggas on you. It's just some niggas on Zoom.
Yeah, no one's coming to see me
during the pandemic when it was nothing else. It was nothing else to do. It was the pandemic, so it was like fuck
no one's coming. No one's coming to see me tell jokes in the back of Tacos. Like nobody's.
Yeah, but you got celebrities that are fucking letting you open for them. So you're there. You on a higher level than me, motherfucker. Damn. See, a lot of people, man, y'all people, like motherfuckers can't never appreciate what they have, man. You know what I mean? Appreciate your shit and build off of that. Your shit could be worse, man. You could be me.
When I'm opening at sold out shirts.
I think you should be happy in general, and you should just add to the happiness as better things happen. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. You in a
Oh, you
great
know what?
spot, dude. Mhm.
But you make a good point. You make a good
Yeah,
point.
that's. I try my best to be an optimist. I'm depressed enough as it is, but if I can fucking, you know what I'm saying? At least pretend, at least try. Like sometimes, like yes, we want to be a certain place in life. You know what I'm saying? But we're looking so much in the future and looking so much of how things should be. We're not even like enjoying like this shit that's going on
Yeah.
right now, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't be smashing a chick that got a little booty, worrying about the chick that got the damn. I wish I had a big booty chick, nigga. You in pussy right now? Why it always gotta be sexual and shit. Or like fat people. You ever like see fat people that be like eating, but they be like worrying about dinner. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you nigga, you gotta. I remember with some Jehovah's Witnesses, like literally, we were gonna have a pizza party. I think I was like 16 years old. It was this fat, jolly, morbidly jolly white lady, and she was so hungry that I think she went to Burger King and got like some bacon, like a 2 bacon double cheeseburgers. And she was like, I want to eat these to tide me over until I get this pizza. And I'm like, I was like, I want some burgers. Like, can I have a piece? This fat bitch didn't even offer me nothing. She's eating the burger, but worried about the pizza that's gonna come. Like you eating a delicious cheeseburger. Nobody else is eating. All of us gotta wait for the pizza man to bring the pizza. But your fat ass your jolly ass gonna pull 2 bacon double cheeseburgers out your purse and not even share, not even cut it like Jesus cut up the fish and shit. You could have broke the burger up for you know what I'm saying, the 20 of us. Like Jesus, nah, she was a glutton. She ate that shit herself. And she ate mad slices when them shits came. Like, damn. That bitch got storage. She got a storage stomach, man. She got a stomach for storage. Just
Oh God. All
So I
right.
say that to say this, man. Enjoy your burgers. Don't worry about the pizza. Enjoy your fucking burger right now, man.
Oh my God, that's an amazing point. I totally understand what you're saying. So,
oh shit, man.
so
Let me
after the
mark that. That's a
show,
good.
we went to the after party at the Pendry across from the Comedy Store, and it took me a little bit to get in, but I will say this: I don't like Hollywood wannabes, meaning people that are on my level, they're like associated with bigger names, but they're not bigger names. You know what I mean? But then they be trying to act like that they're better than you. I don't like that shit. That's why I don't
If
like
they did
going to
like
those parties
they
because
they
they'll
do a
be
guest spot. They do a
they're
guest spot
they're
like Chris Rock. Yo, I open for Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying? Nigga,
they're
it was a
doing
guest spot.
they're doing guest spots in life. Like they're
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like around, and then they don't
yeah,
want to
yeah,
like talk to people because they think that they're better. But I hate people like that because you know
yeah.
why? Because if you're a person that always is trying to be associated with someone else in Hollywood, you're never going to be a leader. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of followers. There's only a few leaders. You should strive to be a leader, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
So I went to the party. Busta Rhymes was there. I heard Beyonce and Jay Z was there. I've been to other parties where Beyonce and Jay Z are there, and I never see them. So I don't know if they decide to just go home or they have like a secret treehouse or something that they hang out in at parties. I don't know. Marlon Wayans was there. Affion Crockett was
Nice,
there.
nice, nice.
Lizzo was there. I met Lizzo,
You said she was real
and
nice, right?
what's interesting about Lizzo is that I recorded one of her concerts in Minnesota before she was famous. She was a part of this group called Girl Party, GRRRL Party, Minneapolis, Minnesota group. And the place that we recorded was at a place called the Ice House. The Ice House in Minneapolis. It's up the street from First Avenue. That's where Prince used to play all the time and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let me see if I can actually find. Yeah, here it is.
So when you met her, she was like, "Oh my
Here it
god!"
is.
Like I remember.
No, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
Oh my god!
This used to fucking be. Let me see if this photo actually comes up. This used to be fucking. This used to be girl. This used to be Lizzo. Right here in the front. This used to be Lizzo.
She looks like
This is when
she
I
looks
met
like
Lizzo.
she looks like a jolly version of the like Fly Girls from a living color.
No, stop it. She's so nice. But this, do you
Okay,
see
okay,
it?
okay.
Do you see it? Yeah, you see it, right? Oh wait, no.
I see a whole
no.
bunch of. I see a whole bunch of them. Which one do you want me to look at
All
in
right,
particular?
so
Though?
the one in the front, that's what
The
Lizzo
NW,
used
the
to look like.
NWA, the
Yeah, that's what
NWA
she
looking
used to look
picture.
like. See, okay, here it is again. You can see her bear. Now to the left, Sophia Aries, I think is her name. She was a part of the group, but now she's Lizzo's DJ. She when I first met her, she was so fine.
Mm-hmm.
She was so fine. Had a gap in her teeth and everything, right? So back in the day, see there she is again. That's Lizzo right there in the right. That's Sophia right here. That's some white chick.
She, you know what she looked like. She's saying,
What?
you know what she looks. I'm every woman. It's all in
You better stop. You better
me.
stop. So
And it's three.
so I
You want
walked
my
up.
baby?
So I walked up to Lizzo. And the thing about it is, a lot of these celebrities, they're very like guarded. So Lizzo, she puts her hands behind her back or whatever, right? And she's with a dude. She's with the comic. I think they're dating. I walk up to her, and I understand when it's like someone you don't know. I get it. I look crazy sometimes. But I just walked up to her and I said, and before she put her guard up, I said, "Do you remember Girl Party?" And she was like, "Oh my god, yeah, oh shit." And I was like, "Yeah, I was at your I was a part of the video crew that recorded your concert at the Ice House in 2013 in Minneapolis, Minnesota." So we talked about Girl Party for a little bit, but I didn't want to overstay my welcome, so I kind of just said, "Yeah, well, congratulations on everything, etc., etc." And then I kind of just like bounced. But it was a nice party. Dave talked about the attack and how comedians were all stronger and all that shit, and you know, people now, they really think they can get on stage and attack people.
Yeah, that shit is nuts. But hopefully, just like people got the courage or inspired to run on stage after what happened with Chris Rock, I hope the beat down. Like, can you bring up that picture? Matter of fact, I brought it. I did a TikTok, and it's also on my Instagram. Have his arm, like his broken arm. You see his hands with the fingerless gloves and painted fingernails. And my caption says, "When you're over 40 years old and you're trying to break dance." And I got the fucking Herbie Hancock playing in the background and shit. I don't know if it's on my IG. You want to show that?
Well, this is
It's
what
like,
the guy
dude,
looks. This is what the guy looks like
yeah.
now, and
Actually, I can share it too.
he fucking deserves it. That's what he
Hell
looks
yeah,
like.
you deserve that shit. But hopefully
he got his hands.
Yeah, you see right there, but doesn't it look like he breakdancing in that picture?
Breakdancing.
He got hurt. He just like that's the aftermath of trying to breakdance and you over 40 years old. That's what's gonna happen to you. Let me see if I can find that shit.
And going to the hospital.
Oh my god,
here's your thing. Hold on.
Yeah, if you can find that shit. It got a decent amount of views too. Because when I looked at it, I just thought Beat Street, or I thought like Breaking Two Electric Boogaloo.
I don't think it's not letting me share it unless I'm.
Oh, it won't. Let me see if I can share it. Let me see if I can share it because that it's quick, but that shit is funny, man. But yeah, yo, hopefully like it's good that they gave him an ass whooping, and hopefully a lot of these clowns will think twice before they rush the stage. And everybody like last night, like every show that I went to, every comedian made some type of mention like, now if you try to run up on stage, blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's like making mention of that. Yeah. Everybody's being cognizant of that. All right,
well, for a while after the Will Smith thing, people were saying it was okay. Like people were literally like, yeah. Comedian, and what they were saying was, they're like, comedians, if you say something, you might get your ass beat. And I'm like, you might get yours beat too.
Yeah.
It's
yeah, for some reason.
It's fair game. We're not just gonna.
Yep.
You think that we're gonna say some ratchet shit and not know how to fight?
Yeah, exactly. Let me see. But yeah, here's the share right here. Let me see if I can share this shit. This is funny. Chrome tab. Yeah, bam. But this is
I
is
can't
it?
see. Is it sharing? Oh, I can see it now.
No.
Go ahead.
That song is a famous breakdancing song.
Oh yeah, I remember it.
This is when you over 40 trying to break dance. All right, let's stop sharing. Yeah, but that's what's gonna happen. Like, yo, listen, stop sharing. If you comedian fans or whatever, or comedian trolls that think they like comedy, think you want to come on stage and do all this goofy shit, some of y'all gonna get your ass whooped because comedians are pushing back, and not every comic is a soft man.
And it's not gonna be necessarily by us, but it'll be by security.
No, by security, and I think some fans are getting tired of it too. Like, if you're a fan, you spend $50 to $100, $20 to $50 on a show for some asshole to do some shit like that. I feel like some fans is gonna be triggered to beat up some fans too.
Yeah. If y'all think it's okay to jump on stage, think twice.
Your arm gonna be dangling, just like that's why
a lot of people, just like
the breakdancer move,
just like how Will Smith emboldened a lot of people. Them being the shit out of that dude that jumped on stage also emboldened a lot of people too, and a lot of these people that are gonna jump on stage are gonna get stomped the fuck out.
And people just people do it for a myriad of reasons. Whether they want their viral moment, they feel triggered, they feel emboldened because somebody did it to Chris Rock. Like, this shit is crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the cell phones don't help. Like, now I understand why Dave doesn't like filming at his shows, because if that's never filmed, people only hear about it, they never see it. But because they see it, you know it's gonna be some goofy ass Lenny Kravitz looking motherfucker that's gonna want to try to spear somebody else too.
I do find it. I do find it interesting how we didn't have we weren't allowed to bring our phones in, but somehow there was a live video of what happened. So
yeah. Okay, now you are tickling my conspiracy funny bone, my conspiracy bone. Yeah. Because how did that one person? And I think it's only like footage. It's only like one camera, right?
No, I mean there was a couple.
Are there multiple angles? Okay.
There's at least 2 or 3. So it wasn't a bunch of them, but there was at least 2 or 3.
It was enough. It was enough, man. You know, usually when I do these shows, I make sure people have their phones locked up. Well, for this specific situation, I'm glad they filmed that nigga trying to tackle me. So when we beat his ass, they knew it was justified. Ow! Yo, it's funny. We saw like Tony Woods last night, and like every other 5 minutes, he would just randomly, ow! He kept doing. I'm like, oh shit, that's where it came from. Ow! I mean, he said, "What's your name? Your name?" He's like, "Your name Mo," but his voice is a little different. He's like, "Your name Mo Green, man. Okay, you gonna come downstairs with me?" Ow! And I showed him I told him the text of where I booked him. He's like, "I don't care about that shit, man. We sitting over here. You sit down over there, man." Ow! Yo, every time I hear that shit, every time I heard Dave do that, you ever see Half Baked? Remember the scene where they like went to the doctor's office and they went to like the secret weed room, and he was like, oh, 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 oh.
Oh man!
I wonder if them niggas make those noises when they ejaculating with their wives and shit. Ow, 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 ow.
Or having a heart attack.
And why would a woman find that attractive, yo? She would like.
Maybe that's the noise Kevin made when he died from his heart
attack. Oh my god. No, I do. Okay, I got it. Okay, here's my tasteless Kevin Samuels joke. Because we still comics. I love him, but I got a joke. Like, they always said that Kevin Samuels was probably gay. So the reason that he died is because he had an allergic reaction to the pussy. Yeah, that's my.
like.
Hey, listen.
Like it was avocados or some shit. Oh, is there peanuts in this? He's like, is there peanuts in this pussy?
He said, I'm allergic to these. I'm allergic to this species, but I have to prove to these people I'm not gay. One day later, this nigga dead. I would listen. I would. This is no disrespect to Kevin Samuels fans, but the comedian in my brain when I saw the you see how thick she was though.
Yeah,
we already showed that, but she was so I can get it. Listen, that's a way.
Good. People trying to
Bruh.
say people trying to say she was fat. Nah,
nah. That was curvy. That was no gut. That was thick thighs.
Thick.
He probably was on the. He was on the Red Bull. He was on the Adderall. He was on the fentanyl. He's like, listen. He was on everything. He needed everything he needed to do to tackle that thick woman, man. And his heart.
Don't pull a disc.
Yeah. Yo, me as a 43-year-old man, listen, but when I be getting my freak on sometimes, like I still be trying to smash like I'm 25, and yo, my heart be beating real hard, man. Like I'm like, yo, I remember years ago I was at a adult party, right? And my boy put me on to the Viagra, but I was on some dumb shit because like I used to drink Captain Morgan, so I was tipsy off the Captain Morgan.
Oh, yeah.
I took an entire Viagra, right? Not half, the whole thing. And I drank a 5-hour energy. Yo, my heart, it was like this. Like I felt like I was gonna die. Yo. I was like, yo, what the like? And sometimes don't go to sleep. And I kept going from hot to cold. I kept having to turn the AC on, turn the heat on. And I was counting like the beats. It was like 108. It was something crazy, like 150 beats in a minute. It's like something ridiculous. Like you could almost hear my heart beating. Yo. And this is me at 27, 28. So imagine 56 years old. Like, let's take the coke out of it. But like Viagra and a Red Bull, and you got a big booty bitch twerking on you. That's bad. Oh shit. And you allergic to the pussy. It's all these things, man. Like
he would have been better off just going and getting himself a couple double bacon cheeseburgers from Burger King.
Facts.
Sit down.
Yeah.
Watch some Netflix. And just call it a night.
A couple of double bacon cheeseburgers from Wendy's right before he gets his pizza. That's to tide him over. Yeah. But yeah, man, like I don't know how we got on that. That's fucking funny. But
so what was the other thing that you wanted to talk about?
Oh yeah, this one thing I'm saying. We're talking about, not to call out comedians, but it's a phenomenon that I see that nobody talks about, but I want to know, like, what is the black version of Gary Owen? Meaning, Gary Owen got into the comedy scene, I want to say like 96, and like within 6 months, he was fucking hosting BET Comic View. And that's just another testament that in the black community, if it's somebody that's not within our ranks comes into one of our art forms, like, let's just keep it at comedy, the people that aren't black, especially white people, they get a lot more leeway if they got flavor, if they got that hood pizzazz or whatever, or if they embrace black culture, and we give them so much more opportunities and so much more leeway. There's no way in hell Gary Owen should be doing BET Comic View or just doing comedy for 6 months, and now he hosts and got a special on BET Comic View. How many other black comedians that were way better than him at that time got passed over by him because he was this novelty act? Now I say that to say this: where is the black version of it? Like Gary Owen, he will boost up black women. Listen, I only see black women. You know, I don't like no white pussy. I could never be no Harvey Weinstein. You know why I couldn't be no Harvey Weinstein? Because I only bless black women. I only bless black women. You know what I'm saying? I would never but if I'm gonna get in trouble, I'm gonna get in trouble about black women. So he boosts up black women while putting down his own. You know, he has children by black women, whatever. He's cool, he's funny, whatever. But I really got to thinking about it. There's no black version that could pull that shit off, yo. There's no black comic, on a small level, these open micers that are nobody. But I'm talking about on a Gary Owen stature that can go out, shit on black women while putting up white women, having a family with white women, and totally embraced by the white community, and making their bones and their fortune off the white community while putting down black people as a comic, or putting down black women as a comic. That shit doesn't exist, and that's problematic, yo. Because because we allow a Gary Owen, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, if it was a black comedian that did that shit, the white people would embrace him, but a black person would kill him, though. Because we won't accept the black person doing that shit. Like, look at what happened to Kevin Samuels. Look how they dancing over his grave. He's not a comedian, but he you know what I'm saying? That's a prime example. There's no black comic that will be accepted on that level. He's gonna get killed, like straight up. And to me, that's not fair, you know?
Well, I don't think it's necessary for anyone to shit on black women.
Right.
As far as there's a lot of men that aren't comedians that shit on black women and uplift white
Oh,
women.
of course. Yeah, of course. Plenty of YouTubers. My boy Minister Jab. That's a prime example, but I'm talking about comedians. I'm talking about comics.
I mean, I think I do think that there's enough black men that do it, and the reason that it bothers me is because I don't think white women are better than black women. Now,
No.
I don't think, and I'm not saying that they're any less either. But a lot of times, what happens is when you hear, and I'll get into the comedian thing in just a moment. I'm just saying,
Yeah. Go ahead.
like the context.
Yeah.
When I hear a black man say, "Well, I prefer white women over black women," and then he continues to list, he goes on to list the negative reasons why he doesn't like black women.
Yeah.
But then you look at the white women that he likes. You're like, but she's not better than. She might be even worse. If we're talking personality-wise, if we're talking looks.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, I don't think it's well-founded that when people are trying to be like white women are better than black women, because I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. So when you're telling like jokes, it has to make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the thing about comedy, especially when you're talking about relationships. This is the thing you have to be careful of when you're a comedian and you're talking about relationships. You have to be careful not to appear hurt on stage.
Yeah. That's how I bombed the other day. Yeah.
Because what happens is that the audience doesn't respect you, and they're hearing a cry for help instead of jokes.
Yep.
So what would happen is if there was a black dude who was like, you know, he was on stage and he's like, well, I don't like black women because this, but white women are better. That doesn't sound like jokes. It sounds like self-hate.
Yep.
And it sounds like low self-esteem. And it sounds like that he has some internal issues that he needs to work out. That's what it sounds like. When it's someone like Gary Owen comes from privilege because he's white. So that's what psychologically makes it okay for him to do it. Now, I do think that when it comes to comedy, I do think that we give white comedians more leeway
all day.
We do our own comedians, because like when we have like our own comedians come in and they don't want to talk about the stereotypical stuff, we say, well, they're trying to be white, or they're trying to be on Comedy Central, or they're whack, or they're corny, and all that stuff. But then you get a white comedian that comes in, he's like, "Hey, black people,
yeah,
I love that song." And then they'll be like,
I love me some chocolate.
I love me some chocolate. Yo, before I die,
that song is.
I want to make sure that I fuck a black woman, because black women, y'all got the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. And you're sitting there like, what the fuck is this? Like, we're sitting there like, what the fuck is this coon shit?
Yeah.
But the audience is like, oh shit. Oh, and they're clapping and stuff. And he's like, yeah.
It's like, oh shit. Oh, that white dude pop locking. Oh, yeah,
It's like when you go to parties and white dancing and people are like, oh shit, go Becky. Go back and she up to and the fact of the matter
she twerking her flat booty.
She twerking with no ass. She's not even twerking. She's moving her body like this.
When she twerk, when a white chick twerk with no ass, that's called twigging. She's twigging it's like twigs.
But the thing about this, she isn't even moving her butt. She's moving her shoulders because she don't got no ass. Anyway, it's like an optical illusion. She's like, if I move my shoulders real quick, they'll think I have rhythm. And let me say this for the record. In 2022, there should be no white people that know how to dance, that don't know how to dance. In 2022, as much as you guys have stolen from black culture, y'all can't steal rhythm. Like, what the fuck? Like, how come in 2022 there's brand new babies being born and these
Yeah,
niggas can't dance?
yo, you ever see like when the skinny white chicks be twerking, but like only they back be moving, like not the ass, just the back right here. This part
Yeah,
be
that's what
moving
I'm
right
talking
here.
about. All I see is ribs. All I see is ribs and vertebrae. That's all I see.
Yo, when skinny white chicks twerk, it look like a skeleton puppet. So like, you're like
it looks like the skeleton from that Walt Disney cartoon when they're dancing in the graveyard.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, with their John.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, do you see? Does that exist? Can you think of the black version of Gary On? Because people threw some names out. So let's run down the names and say, and I'm gonna tell you why not. Wayne Brady, no. Wayne Brady's hood. Wayne Brady just got a day job. Wayne Brady does not focus on stand-up comedy. And if you talk to Wayne Brady, I get pro-black vibes from him. They say, who else? Somebody said Hannibal Buress. Nah, I don't get. Yes, he's alt comedy, but I never see Hannibal Buress boost up white women. He talks about Odd Future. He talks about hip hop and stuff like that. He's not. I could see if he was talking about Billy Ray Cyrus and a bunch of country shit and white, but no, that's not the his act is very much urban. It's very much hip hop, but it's more alternative. Who else? Like they said, Byron Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Byron Allen doesn't do stand up comedy. You know what I'm saying? He did it 40 years ago. He doesn't do it anymore. He's a business mogul. That doesn't count. Like every name that they said, I shot it down. I was like, nah. Like they say Ron Funches or Lil Rel, and I was like, no. Like Ron Funches got a white wife or whatever, but he's not boosting up white people though. You know? Go ahead.
But they are basing that off of how they speak and not what they say.
And that's crazy. That's crazy to me, yo.
Which
that shows some of our people ignorance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just be like the night that I bombed.
Yeah, go ahead.
The night that I bombed. Oh yeah, because I like you were saying earlier, I was seeming more hurt with my material as opposed to being funny. And on the back in the camera, you can hear though he got hurt by a white girl. He got hurt by a white girl. Like she sounded ignorant. I don't want to say the wrong words, but she just sounded special needs. He got hurt by a white girl. He got hurt by a white girl. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. And literally all I was talking about was like bitches that be on some bullshit on dating apps. He got hurt by a white girl. What's one white girl? Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. He got hurt by.
And you keep saying bitches. That's.
You're right. I can't. That's too much TK Kirkland. But the point I'm trying to make is they were only saying that nowhere do I mention race in any of my material. When I do my jokes, if I ever mention a white chick, I talk about a big booty white chick that said I love fat niggas, and I got offended because she said because I lost 40 pounds. I wasn't offended that she called me a nigga because she got a big booty. She get a pass. But that's the only time I mentioned. But in that set, I didn't mention that. But anyway. But they drew that conclusion just because of how I speak, not because of me saying anything.
I've had people tell me that I sound like I date white women.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying.
I didn't know I didn't know you sounded like you date white because I talk shit about white women all the time.
Here's the crazy thing: traditional white chicks that don't that mess with black men, they don't fuck with niggas like us.
No, they don't. Because they
fucking hood ass niggas, man. We too close to them.
Because they can get a white version of us. They can get a white version of us.
They can just get the.
they're like, oh, if I'm gonna fuck with these guys, I might as well just fuck black. I might as well just fuck white dudes.
White guys, exactly. Why am I getting?
That's what I'm saying.
Why are we gonna get the
basketball players, hip hop artists, and the Bloods and the Crips fuck white women, and they don't sound like us.
Yeah.
So.
No,
I don't know what
they
sounding
don't.
like you date white women sounds like. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
but
because people just say shit. People don't process what they're saying. Well, go ahead.
But I will say the comedians that I know that talk about dating and fucking white people, London Hughes.
Okay.
She has a.
Let me look him up.
If you watch the.
Female. Oh.
You went. Oh yeah. If you watch To Catch a Dick on Netflix, she has a whole segment about how she doesn't fuck a lot of black dudes because they got big dicks, And not every black dude has a big dick, but she likes fucking white dudes.
Okay, I like how she spun it because she did it in a complimentary way.
And I'm not saying
So that was kind of that's kind of clever. That's
and
clever.
again, I'm not saying that she's bad. I mean, I think she's great, but I'm just saying if that's where we're going,
she kind of sexy.
she says nerdy. So she says nerdy white men are my kryptonite. That's what London Hughes said.
Yeah, because because she can dominate them. That's why.
And again, I'm not saying this. I'm just saying if we're going to ask the question, Nicole Byer does it somewhat. Sashir Zamata kind of does it somewhat. Jessica Williams does it somewhat. And
I'm gonna type one to you behind the scenes because I don't want to put it on blast.
And
because she had a problem with me. She had a problem with me, but this one used to always compliment ugly, average white dudes. I just sent it to you, right there. And I low key called her out on it, and she got mad at me and deleted me as a friend.
Oh, and Phoebe Robinson does it every now and then.
Here's another one. I'm not gonna call her out, but there's another one too that does it. But these women never get backlash. Like, it's okay for a lot of our sisters to boost up white men while putting down blacks. They can have a fine career. If me and you, like, they want us canceled just because of how we speak, not the content of what we're saying. So imagine, like, if you take our voices and mix that in with putting down black women while boosting up whites and Latinas, we'll be dead, man.
I mean, I don't necessarily think it would be that bad, but I don't. I don't do it because I don't believe it.
I just sent you another one. That's another one too.
I only talk about things that I believe.
And right.
I don't believe in putting down our women. I love black women. I really think that we're better together than we are apart.
Yeah, I agree.
And I have decided. I mean, back in the day, I have said things in my jokes like, I've had a black girlfriend and this is what happened in X, Y, and Z, and I got backlash for that, saying that she was a black woman, right? And I've decided, I said I would never cause that amount of hurt on anybody ever again. And that's just my.
I like what you did. I like what you did with your list though, because you that threw me off. I thought you were gonna name some guys or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but
I mean,
black females, they get certain demographics get a pass, man.
If we're asking the question, who's a Gary Owens equivalent? Well, at the same time, they're not necessarily the equivalent of Gary Owens. But if we ask the question of, are there black comedians that say they prefer this versus that?
White, yeah.
These have been the comedians that I have observed, and I wish them the best.
I didn't see that shit coming.
Yeah,
I didn't see that. I was literally thinking men. I wasn't even thinking on that level. So, but that's just that goes to show you that, like, some people in society just get a pass to be however. They could be off code and be however it is that they want to be. And nobody says anything. Nobody mentions it, man.
But you know what's funny? About it, too, is that a lot of times people come to us and be like, you sound like you date white women. But what's interesting is a lot of black women that are the equivalent of us, a lot of them date white men. So when you hear... So I'm guilty of this too. I'm guilty of this. Sometimes you'll talk to a lady that I might be attracted to, and I'm like, "Oh, you sound like you date white dudes." I'm guilty of this.
You sound like you
date white dudes.
Yeah,
and it's
so you
not
just
by
as
what
bad.
they say,
Yeah,
but it's how they carry themselves and how they speak.
Yeah,
and all that stuff. And what happens in the black
Yeah.
community is that intelligence, when we sound the way they sound, we get criticized in our community.
Right.
So what happens is we go where we're celebrated, and then when you go where you're
Love
celebrated,
you.
then you find love,
Mm.
and then that's who you end
Yeah.
up dating. So
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, definitely.
again, I think that.
But we need to stop equating. We as a people, we need to stop equating intelligence and just better life with white. That's the first thing. That's the first thing that has to be eliminated. Like, if you see somebody that's speaking a certain way or sounding a certain way, no, you don't take it as, oh, he must have sex with a white woman or have sex with a certain group. Take it as he has a certain level of education. He was raised a certain way. Why can't that be the conclusion?
Or maybe this dude got money. Let me go over here and hang out with him and see what's up.
Yeah.
And then when you find out he's broke, then you can judge him. But
yeah, exactly. This broke ass uppity nigga.
All right.
Yeah, but that was good, Kenan. You threw me for a loop. I didn't see that coming. So you must have really thought about that, because I did not. I didn't see that shit coming at all.
It just came to me.
You gonna get canceled for that, right? Because they're gonna take it as you putting down black women, even though you're not putting them down. You're just saying the black versions of Gary Owen, or Owens, as black people say. It's not really men. It's women.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
I don't mean it that way. I literally I choose not to talk that way on stage. I choose not to talk that way in general. I mean, I'm saying
right. You're not shitting on them. You're not. It just so happens that they just happen to be women. Like if you could find some guys that are like that on a bigger level, we call it out all day. You know.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to defend me. I mean, I have to think about it. I mean,
it's real shit though. What is there to defend?
I mean, if we're talking about open micers, I know plenty of coons.
Of course.
But
of course, it was just one coon one new coon open mic. I had to pull him to the side. I'm like, bruh, I know you knew and everything, but like this shit ain't gonna work. What you trying to do? Nah, you got
it. Stop soft shoeing. No one's gonna fuck you.
Yeah.
All right, so
yeah.
Mo, where can we find you over the next couple weeks?
Next couple weeks, I'm gonna be at Uptown Vibes in Hartford, Connecticut. I am featuring for Fig the Comedian, and you can find me on all platforms. Comedian Mo Green, and look out for the Momentary podcast. I just started doing some mobile version of Momentary since I'm driving more between New York and Connecticut. So I use that time to like really blog my thoughts and stuff. So I just got that fired up on my Comedian Mo Green on YouTube. That's it.
Cool. Well, you guys can follow me. You can go to my linktree.com/KenanJFloyd for all of my socials and stuff. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at KenanJFloyd, KenanJFloyd. Follow me again on all platforms, Kenan J. Floyd. Kenan J. Floyd. Make sure you follow me. If you're new to this channel, thank you for joining us. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any quarrels with what we've said, if you have any issues, if you agree with what we said, please comment below so that we can start this conversation. We would also like to, make sure you hit that bell when there's a new video that comes up, so you guys can check us out. And get the word out. We're doing this. We're trying to build followers. We're having fun. We're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for supporting us.
Oh yeah.
You can also follow the podcast on Instagram at LSPcast, at LSPcast, at LSPcast. And where I'm going to be is this week. I'm going to be at the Berkshire House in Hollywood, May 11th. Tickets are available at Mr. Tan Panda /tickets. Berkshire House, May 11th, 8 p.m. MrTanPanda.com/tickets. Berkshire House, May 11th at 8. MrTanPanda.com/tickets. I'm going to be back at the Ontario Improv May 22nd to 24th with Dean Edwards. Ontario Improv May 22nd to 24th with Dean Edwards. Ontario Improv May 22nd to 24th with Dean Edwards. And in June 17th through 19th, I'm going to be at the Houston Improv with Godfrey. Again, June 17th through 19th, Houston Improv with Godfrey, June 17th to 19th. Houston Improv with Godfrey. You can go on the Houston Improv website to get tickets. And again, follow me on Instagram, all platforms, Kenan J. Floyd. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of The Light Skin Perspective. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Happy Mother's Day to the mothers.
Y'all have a good evening.
Peace. Good shit. Good show, man.